it. And for the O's, they will conclude this 3-game stand against the Yankees with an opportunity that doesn't come along very often. Sweep the Yankees after you swept the Red Sox. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne, and welcome. This is the final day of the weekend for the Maryland Food Drive, Mike. You obviously could give more. We'll talk about that during the ball game. Talk about giving more. How about Manny Machado? Let's take a look at what he did yesterday, continuing what he has done not only in this series but in this month. He had the base hit in the ball game yesterday, but that was only the beginning. Manny is also on a tear with a long ball. The home run against the Yankees. That's something the Orioles have done a lot of this season. And he wasn't finished yet. He would add a 2-bagger to it. Manny Machado is red hot. 476 over the last 5. Couple of home runs, 5 RBIs. He has scored 8 runs and has 4 multi-hit games. Mike Bordick, you can't be much hotter than Manny is.
Yeah, really not. Manny's feeling great about this season. Coming in, finally knees feel healthy. He's got his legs underneath him. Since moving to the top spot, leadoff man in the order, he hasn't really changed a lot other than seeing more pitches. I think he's being more patient at the top. He's using the whole field. I was talking to Scott Coolball, Orioles hitting coach, and I said, well, what do you see with Manny? I mean, he's a young superstar hitter. He's done a lot of great things in his career already. But he said he's not trying to do too much. He's using the whole field. He's using the middle of the field, right field, and he's showing great power all over the place. Manny gets in trouble when he tries to do too much. When that front side opens up and he tries to yank the ball out of the park, then he gets into a little bit of trouble. But right now, staying consistent, using the whole field, and is one of the leaders in almost every Orioles offensive category.
And we hope you'll be a leader and help out here. This, of course, is the weekend each season. The Orioles are involved in this. It's the Orioles Reach Food and Funds Drive. It's to benefit the Maryland Food Bank. It's a great opportunity for you to give to those in need. And out here collecting today, ball players, members of the local media and press, and we're going to be out here too.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You interact with the fans, both Yankees fans, Orioles fans. Players' wives are out here, players are out here. It's just a great giving spirit, I think, today, and obviously a huge series for everybody involved. So just a lot of fun. Come on out, support the Maryland Food Drive, and have a great day.
We want to thank them because we get to wear a T-shirt as a result of all that for the entire ball game. All right, we're ready to go. Baseball, Orioles on this Sunday. We'll wrap it up against the Yankees. First pitch when we come back. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Take a look at our BGE home game time temperature. It is a summer afternoon, 90 degrees, humidity at 61%. Little cloud cover will help the day. BGE Home is Baltimore's home team for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Why would you call anyone else? Big house on hand for this Sunday afternoon to see if the Orioles can do something that they've not accomplished since 1970. Consecutive sweeps against Boston and New York. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Yankees today. Gardner, Headley, and Rodriguez, Teixeira, Jones, and Drew, Gregorius, Murphy, and the rookie Williams. This season against the Orioles, Rodriguez has continued to do well against those pitchers.
And let's take a look at Mike Wright's pitch arsenal this season. This will be his 5th start of the year. A fastball 68% of the time. We've seen him get it up there 97, 98 miles an hour. Maybe a little more adrenaline going in this ball game. Breaking balls, the slider. Pretty good change as well. 2 wins for Mike Wright. 2.96 earned run average. 16 punch outs in his 24 1/3 innings of work. Just 4 walks, and 2 of those intentional. Opponent's average 231 overall. He's holding the righties down to 184. Lefties up to 286 though. Pretty even breakdown in ground ball, fly ball percentage. A little bit more of a fly ball rate.
Well, Wright got off to a tremendous start with the Orioles. He'd allowed very few runs over the last couple, though. 8 earned runs last 10 innings after giving up none in his first 2 starts that covered 14 1/3. Not unusual for that to happen to either pitcher or hitters. As the videos get out, the book gets written, and you got to adjust.
Yeah, it does not take long at all. Probably teams are looking at him after the first start. You know, nowadays they have scouts everywhere. Even minor league players are tremendously scouted. You see guys getting their first major league bats, and defenses are shifting on them. All the same holds true with pitchers. You get a good look, a lot of video service. Guys take a look at what Mike Wright has to offer, and they have different at bats. So Mike Wright's got to make adjustments. So too do offensive players. We'll see if Mike Wright can get off on the right step here against this Yankees offense.
Since Buck Showalter took over the Orioles, they have never had more than a 6-game win streak. Today they've got a chance for their 7th. Here is Brett Gardner, the leadoff batter, a 1 for 7 so far in this series. The Yankees will be getting their first look at the Oriole right-hander Mike Wright. Yankees, of course, struggling. They were playing good baseball before they came in. They lost the game before they opened with the Orioles. They've now lost 3 in a row. They are 33-28 and now tied for first with Tampa Bay, while the Orioles are just 2 games behind the Yankees. And the pitch taken away, and we are underway. Everybody, I think, is going to hope this cloud cover stays without bringing us any thunderstorms. A really hot day, and for Joe Girardi, looking to get these Yankees out of a tough spell. Swung on and missed. Good off-speed delivery right there from Wright.
Yeah, here early in the game, typically pitchers want to establish the fastball. He throws the changeup. It's up in the zone, but taking enough off to get Gardner out in front for the first strike.
Gardner hitting at 2-91 versus right-handers. He's had a hit 8 of the last 10 he's been in. He is their primary run producer, and he's been one of the leaders in the American League runs scored. Jacoby Ellsbury, of course, has missed this entire series. The 2 of them at the top have been 2 of the best at crossing the plate. Gardner right now is 4th in the league with 42. Don't look now, but Josh Donaldson of Toronto is having a MVP season. Yeah. Talk about it as we go along. I say that because Donaldson's now moved up to be number 1 in runs. Gardner taking his time here. 2-ball, 2-strike count, trying to slow Wright down a little bit early in the ball game. Wind blowing a bit towards right. That's down the line. That's going to be foul. We'll have some swirling winds in the game today, as these thunderstorms will be in the area, particularly as we move along later into the afternoon. Wind was blowing in from center at the start. Now it's kind of blowing left to right. Probably would be all over the place depending on what cell moves through at what time. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Gardner again going at it. He'll foul it back. So trying to make life miserable for Wright here in the leadoff spot.
Well, nice fastball right there from Mike Wright. I mentioned earlier, seeing his fastball get up to 97, 98 miles an hour. They're working it to the top of the zone. Gardner doing a nice job to foul off some tough pitches. You can establish that early. That'll certainly help his secondary pitches.
Here's the 2-2 delivery again, and that will slide inside. So the count goes full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. As Wright has walked a few, 4, not many though, in the 24 1/3 innings pitched. He's given up fewer hits than innings pitched, as you saw. 21 hits, 24 innings. 3-2 delivery and a chopper. He's fast. Flaherty coming. The flip won't be in time. Well, if you ran out there and barehanded placed it, you couldn't have put it any better position-wise for as far as Gardner's concerned.
Well, a tough play, obviously, for both Davis and Flaherty over on the right side of the infield. But this is a play that the Orioles work on in spring training. Pitcher's got to take a deep angle here. Great fastball from Wright. You see Mike Wright trying to pursue that ball, and then at the end when it's safe, he slaps the glove in frustration. He thinks he should have made that play. I'm sure Buck Showalter thinking about spring training as well.
So runner on, and a dangerous one. Gardner at first base. Headley coming to the plate. Wright will have to keep an eye on him over there. Gardner second in the league in stolen bases, 15. Jose Altuve of Houston leads at 17. You got to believe this is a ball game where the Yankees might be thinking, let's maybe start early, do something to try and get the momentum back on our side.
Well, you would think they'd start pushing it a little bit. Now, they had been playing great baseball before they came into this series, so they're not far removed from the recent success, but something to start sparking the offense, especially in the fact that the Orioles offense has been so strong.
Hadley on the big cut. Hadley's had a tough time. Third base, first game, took a shot in the midsection, had to come out. Yesterday, sick, just nauseous, started the ball game, had to come out, but here he is playing again here on this Sunday afternoon, and a very important part of this top of the order now with Ellsbury out. Wright's delivery will be up high, 94 miles an hour on it, and a 2-ball 1-strike count.
Mike Wright's had himself a really fine year. Started in spring training. After finishing strong in AAA Norfolk, really opened some eyes. There's a lot of talk about Mike Wright possibly earning a spot in the Orioles bullpen, but went down to Norfolk and really had some success. Got the opportunity here and really impressed in his first 2. He went scoreless in over 14 innings of work in his first 2 starts.
Lays that one in. That's a great off-speed breaking ball. Andy Fletcher, who's a home plate umpire, historically has had a pretty small strike zone. Will tend to favor hitters if he's consistent with what the players' reports have been. We talk about that. It's not a great variation, just enough to be noticeable for the players. 2-2. Gardner's made no move at first. He'll go back in. Plenty of time to get back to first base. For Wright, last 2 starts, Houston and the White Sox. Beat the White Sox, lost to Houston. Got that first win against the Angels in his debut back on May 17. 2-ball 2-strike count. Infield shaded to pull at double play depth with nobody out here. 2-2 delivery to him will be up high. So another full count.
Now losing that fastball top of the zone. Now Mike Wright, good 4-seamer. That has that nice run action, but also a 2-seamer down in the zone. He can get some ground balls when he needs to. Right now working the fastball up at the top to be more consistent down at the bottom, especially this situation here to get a ground ball.
There goes the runner, and that's going to be fouled off the mask of Caleb Joseph. So Gardner taking off. Had 7 pitches, each of the first 2 at bats so far.
Gardner quiet until the 3-2 count here. Another high fastball, and you see Caleb taking it right off the top of the helmet there as he starts to come out of the chute.
Headley has grounded into 5 ground ball double plays this season. He has done that more than any other Yankee. 3-2 count. See if Gardner goes again. He does. Headley puts it in the air to right field. Atom ball. Snyder.
Take a look at this Orioles defense, who has been stellar over the last month. Just a couple errors in their last 20 games. Reinhold, Jones, and Snyder in the Orioles outfield. Hardy and Flaherty up the middle. Machado and Davis on the corners, and Caleb Joseph behind the plate.
And the usual reaction. Little of this, little of that for A-Rod. So Rodriguez stands in. He's had a solid series, as you see. Designated hitter for the Yankees, carrying a .308 average against the Orioles this year. He's had 3 home runs this season against the Orioles. 64 career home runs against Oriole pitching. Shift on, 1 down. A-Rod will put that one up in the air in the first pitch. Snyder. Pitch and an out on Rodriguez.
A big out right there. Of course, Alex Rodriguez sneaking up on some pretty impressive numbers. Good to get him to swing at the first pitch. Easy out there.
Because his home's not too far away, he draws the most boos of all. Mark Teixeira, because he's not playing in an Oriole uniform.
Exactly.
Teixeira with a big 4 for 8. League leader in RBIs, coming in 1 ahead of Josh Donaldson. 2 down. Gardner still at first base. Shift on all the way. And Gardner back. Tell you about Donaldson. He's in the Triple Crown category, as Josh Donaldson is hitting .316. That's 6th best. He's got 17 home runs. That's tied for 4th. And he's 2nd in RBIs. Big year. Part of the big run. Toronto with that 10-game win streak they're in right now.
A huge pickup for that Blue Jays team.
Yep. That one hit the other way, hit hard, going over near the foul pole, and it's going to be a fair ball. Gardner's going to score. Ball gets away from Reinhold, going into second base with a 2-out RBI, and his 47th league-leading run batted in is Teixeira.
Finding a way. Batting average a little bit higher than we've seen in the past. Typically a very slow starter the first quarter of the season, and picking up his 13th double, and he just paints that left field line. Good fastball on the outside corner. He goes down and gets him. See that leg bend, get the barrel on the ball. Look how close, right on the chalk. See the third base umpire pointing fair. Jerry Meals down there, and Teixeira picking up another stake.
So a big 2-out RBI. Yankees struggling, getting runs in with runners in scoring position in this series. 3 for 22 coming into this game in this series for the Yankees. They get one right here in their first chance of the ball game. Now Jones is going to get the second opportunity. Jones has not been playing a lot, but he's 11 for his last 28, including 3 home runs. Against the Orioles, he's not had a hit. 0 for 7, 4 games played against the O's. He'll foul that one off the fist the other way. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count. For Mark Teixeira, that is RBI number 6 in 10 games against the Orioles this season. He sets himself up with a chance to score. Orioles, Hardy will move in behind him now as Teixeira moves off real good lead. Fisted foul. Wright will get ahead of him. A ball and 2 strikes.
Continuing to stay aggressive with that fastball, move it all over the place. Caleb really trying to establish that, and get it in on the lefties, which could be potentially huge. When he starts mixing in the slider, let's see him try to drop it on that inside corner, get some swing throughs. If he can establish the fastball in.
Right to look back in the 1-2 delivery, and that one's going to be fouled off. For Jones this season, only 12 at bats with runners in scoring position. He's had a couple of hits, 2 for 12. Getting a little more playing time with Ellsbury out of there. Williams, of course, has moved in, playing in center field. 1-2. Hardy creeps in at second base. Teixeira edges back. 1-2 delivery, and just missed outside.
A great pitch. Good call by Caleb. A couple times inside, trying to open up the outside corner. Good movement, nice velocity, just off the outer edge. Now, the Yankees coming into this season, very veteran team, and keeping their fingers crossed about the health of this team, realizing that if veteran guys started going down, their depth is going to be tested.
Wright gets the strikeout out of the inning with a run on 2 hits to share the RBI. Adam Warren will go to the mound for the Yankees. Starting lineup brought to you by Southwest. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Machado, Paredes, and Jones, Davis, Reimold, and Snyder, Hardy, Flaherty, and Joseph. And for Caleb, give me a shot at the Yankees. Look at those numbers this year against New York.
All right, he's going to have his work cut out for him. Adam Warren, take a look at his pitch arsenal this season. He is one of the pitchers on the rise, pitching very well recently. Fastball 51%, breaking ball has the slider curve and the change to go along with it. So 4-pitch mix, and stays very consistent against both righties and lefties with that mix. 11 starts this season for the Orioles. 4-4 record, 3.64 earned run average, 38 punch-outs, 22 walks for Warren in the 64 1/3 innings of work. See the opponents hitting .234 overall. Righties at .224, but he's been keeping them in check over the last 4 games. He's kept them under 200. Lefties at .248. Even distribution with ground ball, fly ball out.
No one has hit Warren harder in his young career than have the Orioles. Orioles .369 batting average against him. ERA .698 against the Orioles. And here's Manny Machado, who probably can't wait to get out there to face him. He is 6 for 7 lifetime off Warren. 7-game hit streak, of course, for Manny, who's just been sizzling. 1-0 delivery to him. Slider is going to be taken outside. For Machado, he's reached base each of the last 14 games against the Yankees. And he's hitting .400 with a .455 on base percentage over that string of games against New York. Warren will go for the outside corner, and he will get it. And a 2-ball, 1-strike count.
Well, Manny really doing it all offensively right now for the Orioles. We talked about him being top leaders in offensive production, just about every category. I see 7-game hitting streak right now.
Add another one. Boy, he took care of that in a hurry. May just want to walk him.
Yeah, exactly. Take a look at the Yankees defense here this afternoon. Gardner, Williams, and Jones in the Yankees outfield. Gregorius and Drew up the middle. Headley and Teixeira on the corners, and Murphy doing the catching this afternoon.
So that's going to be an 8-game hit streak for Manny Machado. During the streak, he is 15 for 31, hitting over .470. Here's Jimmy Paredes. Paredes DH, batting second, 1 for 4, lifetime off Warren. Infield in for a bunt. He's not. Swing and a miss on it for a strike. Headley had moved in 3 steps on the grass at third base for that pitch. He will back up after that swing. You see his numbers against the Yankees.
Huge numbers. A lot of offensive production from this lineup against the Yankees this season. Of course, the last 2 games have helped tremendously.
Those numbers this year have pushed Jimmy up to a career .372 batting average against New York with a couple of home runs. Brady's trying to get hot again. Yankees may be the team to do it against in light of the confidence you got to have from the numbers he's put up against them. 1-1 Machado off first base, and that one will be fouled the other way. Yankees have put the shift on a bit. They've got Gregorius, the shortstop, moved over almost behind the bag. The Yankees do not want him taking a chance on a double play from the second base side, so by playing him there he can come across the bag somewhat as he would as a shortstop.
Yeah, give Drew a little bit more room, filling up that hole on the right side.
Machado goes back. It's one of the things Manny, of course, has done, especially since moving into that leadoff spot, and that's become a threat to go. He's 8 out of 9 in stolen bases this season. He's got the green light to go when he feels he can get the lead. Against Warren, base stealers 2 for 4. Brady's will take the slider. It's down and in. 2-ball, 2-strike count.
I think just the fact that Manny Machado is running a little bit more at times can get in the heads of pitchers. They have to be a little bit quicker. And when you have good hitters behind Machado, like a Paredes or a Reimhold, you know, they're going to see more fastballs, and that is really the key. And that's why leadoff hitters are so important. You know, the second place hitters see more fastballs, and even the third place, depending situation of the game.
Brady's gets one. It'll be down the line and foul. Buck Showalter talking about that this morning, why he had Manny at the top. Thought it was interesting. He said, I don't want to say he gets bored, but there's better focus when he knows he's going to be leading off the ball game. He's focused and ready to go right from the start. And he thinks that has really helped in what he's doing at the plate. And then he said, as you did, Mike, on Paredes, if Manny gets on, Paredes, who's a fastball hitter, won't see as many of those off-speed breaking balls that he doesn't like. And that's kind of what's happened here in this first inning.
That is the hope of a quality leadoff hitter. And Buck talks about the fact that they're hard to find nowadays. The speedy leadoff guys with the high on-base percentages. So you find good hitters that get on base just by driving the ball. Of course, Manny tops on the team or second on the team in walks this year as well.
And there's a breaking ball and got him. So Warren gets a strikeout. He's got he averages about one every other inning.
Let's take a look at the Nissan pitch track, how Warren got him. Pretty good pitch. The breaking ball dropping to the bottom of the zone. See the rotation there, and it's all about the late finish. Yeah, it's hanging up there, holding its head till about 4 feet in front of home plate, and that's when it decides to grip and bite down to get Paredes to swing over the top.
So that'll bring up Adam Jones with one away. Adams got a 4-game hit streak coming in. 2 for 10 in this series against the Yankees. Better numbers against Warren, 4 for 9. Headley even with a bag at third. And again, I ask my great infielding shortstop next to me, why would Headley play even with a bag at third?
Well, Adam Jones is a multi-threat guy. I mean, you know, he's got the power, but he's also got the speed. And this year he's laid down bunts in situations when he feels necessary. Well, third baseman sneaks back. He won't hesitate to lay one down. Get Chris Davis up there with runners in scoring position.
Sure gives Adam a better chance down the third base side, though, doesn't it?
Heck yeah.
If you're swinging away.
You know, Headley's on his toes as well.
Yeah.
Because Adam can chop him down there with best of.
Now Headley will back up at third, all the way back. 0-1 delivery on the way, which will be taken inside. Show you how tough the Orioles have been in this series offensively. They have won and scored 9 or more runs in consecutive games for the first time, for the second time since coming to Baltimore against the Yankees. Last time was in 2000. Note from the Elias Sports Bureau this morning. Pitch outside, as they've won these games 11-3 and 9-4. And they had never against the Yankees had that kind of run production in consecutive games, except for that one series back in 2000.
Well, the fact that they're doing it against the Yankees, I don't know that it matters that much. I think it's great because we've been waiting for this offense to really come together, and it seems like they're clicking on all cylinders right now.
Broken bat.
Everybody in the lineup a tough out. Even when Buck Showalter reaches into the bench and pulls them out, they're doing good things. David Lowe brought into last night's game and hit a home run. So Buck Showalter pushing the right buttons, and this offense has been patient, and it's paid off because everybody feeling good. And they're riding this nice wave right now.
Adam gets a new bat. He will stand back in. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Machado remains on at first base. Adam with a couple of home runs against the Yankees this year with that .289 batting average. He's hit in 8 of the 9 games these teams have played this year. 2-2 count. Manny Machado back to the bag, keeping that double play in order and trying to cut that lead down over there.
And a good lead. A step and a dive back. Base stealer lead. So Warren notices that. Obviously Joe Girardi from the Yankees dugout.
There goes Manny. And right into the hole. What a perfect hit and run. Played back in by Williams. Adam Jones to the hole vacated by Drew. Picks up the single and the Orioles cover the corners.
So you put runners in motion, good things happen, holes open up. Drew a little over aggressive here. Infielders are taught, you see the runner go, do not cross over. Keep your shoulders square. He makes that little lean towards the base with Machado going, and he cannot recover. Adam Jones picking up a base hit. Machado hustling over to third.
Can't do it any better than that. So the Orioles have got a chance to get on the board here in the first inning. 2 hits for them, first and third. Chris Davis. Chris has got a 4-game hit streak as well. He's had a 4-for-9 series, a home run, 4 RBIs in this series. Nice block made by Murphy, and that will hold the runners. Warren has on court 3 wild pitches this year. So down at third base, Manny Machado, chatting with Bobby Dickerson, will get off that bag as far as he can just in case number 4 shows up.
Heck yeah. Manny getting good secondary leads out there, staying very aggressive. Of course, Adam Jones always running hard at first base, so you know this defense is feeling that type of pressure, and Warren as well. I mean, Chris Davis at the plate. Things happening right now put the heat on the Yankees.
The number of chances the Orioles have had with runners in scoring position in this series is astronomical. In the first 2 games, they have had 31 opportunities with a runner in scoring position, and they've had 13 hits. Yet they are still the team with the fewest number of opportunities in the American League with runners in scoring position. And the count goes 3-0. Looks like he wants nothing to do with Chris Davis, who's had a 2-for-6 off him. Machado, Jones, and Davis at .273 in these situations this year. He's got to have a green light here. Inside, they're loaded.
Nice at bat by Chris Davis. He was pitching him around him. He was being careful, working the perimeter of the plate. Sometimes we've seen Chris get over aggressive, wanting to do too much. Says, well, I'll take the walk, pass the baton to Reimold, who's red hot. You look at Nolan Reimold last night, 2 for 5, hit the homer and the triple. So power and speed from Reimold. Opposite way up into the flat court. Take a look at this series, 3 for 9. Nice numbers since coming up, 286, couple homers, 3 RBI.
He is 1 for 2 in these situations with the limited chances in those games. Nolan will take the pitch outside for a ball. Warren has really worked himself into a jam here in this game. He is a pitcher who goes backwards, if you will. He's got better numbers when the first pitch is a ball than when the first pitch is a strike by opposing hitters. 0-1, and that'll be hit in the air to the gap. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Machado scores. Jones had the big read. He'll come home easily, and Nolan Reimold continues to try and nail down a left field job. 2 RBIs, and the Orioles take a 2-1 lead.
And some clutch hitting right there from Nolan Reimold, but Manny Machado starting things off, staying red hot. The base hit. He continues to push through. Nice at bats from the top of this lineup. Take a look at this pitch. Inside fastball. A 2-seamer riding in. Now he didn't barrel it up, or it might have ended up in the Orioles bullpen. Got off the label a little bit, but perfectly placed into the outfield. Jones able to score easily from second base. High fives for everyone.
So Reimold coming back with a vengeance. as he delivers the 2 RBIs. Nolan now's got 4 RBIs in this 3-game set, and we're only in the first inning of game 3. Now runners continue here in scoring position. First and second. Snyder, he's got a 4-game hit streak and is hitting 5 of the last 6. He'll go after the first pitch, pop it up. Gregorius back, being called off. Gardner, a much better angle, coming in, will make the catch for the second out of the inning. Talk about those who are hot. Celebrate the season with the American Standard All-Star event. Visit MidAtlanticComfort.com for amazing rebate and financing opportunity.
Well, J.J. Hardy has been red hot. 6-game hit streak, 318 with 4 RBI. Didi Gregorius, the Yankee shortstop, not so much.
Let's see what J.J. can do here. He's hit Warren, limited chances, but he's 3 for 6 against him. First and second, 2 down. He'll take that slider outside for a ball. He's had 3 RBIs off Warren, where the Orioles get the 2-1 lead after the Yankees got that first inning run on Teixeira's double. They come right back and get on top in the ball game. That ball is going to be popped up third base side. Headley. And no chance as that goes up on top of the dugout. For Adam Warren, he had not allowed a run in the first 4 innings of each of his last 3 starts. He has given up the run here. He's pitching on extended days rest. 6 days rest. They had a day off, so whether that affects him or not, usually doesn't. But he gives up runs here in the first inning. Larry Rothschild has already made 1 visit to the mound in the game. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Hardy will take it inside, 2-1.
Which might not be because Warren's making bad pitches. He's mixing everything up right now, really going to everything he's got, trying to keep this Orioles offense off balance. But man, when they're hot, they're hot. They're finding holes right now, putting together great at bats, really working the pitch count to 25 already for Warren.
And it's hot. 2-1 delivery. He loves to go with that slider, trying to get hitters, especially the right-handers, to go after that pitch that's down and away.
Well, his best secondary pitch is that slider, the hard slider.
Orioles aren't biting. And the count goes to 3-1. Well, you got a team down like the Yankees. You've beaten up on them in 2 games. You want to have a nice, quick start on a hot Sunday afternoon and get them thinking about leaving the ballpark.
Yeah, exactly.
3 ball, 1 strike count.
The Yankees so good at making that first mark in a ball game, and it's great to see the Orioles offense just answering right back.
That'll be a souvenir down the line as J.J. Hardy hangs tough. Boy, great to have Hardy back in the lineup, of course, after the injury. Solidified the defense in the middle automatically. Everett Cabrera is now out of the Orioles organization, sent down. Played some decent games, but there just wasn't enough there for the Orioles to want to keep him in the organization. 3-2 runners go, and it's back into the screen. And it stays 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And I think the Orioles had their depth tested early on this season. You know, reaching down, of course, Duquette picking up some offseason acquisitions that would help that depth, but unfortunately with some injuries like Hardy, important key players. See Brian Mattis out in the Orioles bullpen, back from his 8-game suspension for the rosin on the forearm.
Ball put up in the air towards center field. Will it carry? Not enough for Hardy, just shy of the warning track. Williams is there to get it and haul it in. But the Orioles come away with a couple of runs. They do it on 3 hits. Will leave 2 on base, and they have the early lead. Oriole Park at Camden Yards, even though it's outside there on Utah Street beyond the flag court. And a 2-1 ball game. The Orioles on top. Right today, would like to add to the pitching numbers. The offense has gotten it done. The Orioles starters, though, the Orioles have not had an outing of 6 innings or more for 7 straight games. And they've not gotten an outing of at least 7 from a starter for 13.
Yeah, bend but don't break. And fortunately for the Orioles bullpen has just been lights out.
Outstanding. Yep. Pitch on the way. Steve Molesky doing some great work research-wise for our ball game today, as he always does.
Oh, yeah.
Now that the draft's over, Steve can concentrate on supplying information to me that I can plagiarize.
Me too.
The 0-1 delivery on the way, and that'll be blooped towards center field, and that will fall in. The old Bermuda Triangle right there. So Drew is on with a leadoff single here in the second inning. Tomorrow, the Orioles going to begin a 2-game interleague series with the 95 rival Phillies. Good seats still remain for each game, including Tuesday's Ollie's Bargain Night, presented by Ollie's Bargain Outlet. All upper reserve seats, $10 when purchased in advance. For tickets, go to Orioles.com or call 888-848-BIRD. I listened to that Phillies game the other night while enjoying an adult beverage. No score, 13th inning. That was 12 or 13. Oh my gosh. Bunted and foul. I do like to listen to announcers. I mean, the Phillies are out of it. They're looking to next year and who's going to get traded first and all that stuff. It's tough for broadcasters when you have a team struggling and they're out this early, and then to have a ball game 0-0 go into extra innings, and they had like 17 combined chances with runners in scoring position through like 10 innings, and neither team could get a base hit or a run. And Larry Anderson is a very funny man and does color on radio for the Phillies. He was great. he was dying. And I felt for him. So the Orioles going to get 4 against the Phillies, 2 here, 2 in Philadelphia in the interleague play. 0-2 count. Gregorius with a runner on at first base. Drew, decent lead, not a base stealer. And the pitch will be up high to him. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, certainly not to look too far forward against the Phillies, but you see how the Orioles have been playing. When the Red Sox came in to start this homestand, Red Sox one of the hotter teams in the game, and Orioles able to take care of some business. Yankees as well. Now, will there be a let up for the Phillies? I don't think so. I mean, this team's been through this before, but they're always dangerous. The teams that are down, they call up young guys. Dominic Brown just got called back up. So there are young players out there trying to prove themselves, and a lot of times teams aren't familiar with them.
And you got Toronto on the other side that you don't want to be looking ahead, right?
Yeah, exactly.
2 ball, 2 strike count. Drew's on at first. Gregorius with that 1 for 7 in the series. He's been hitting the ball pretty well. Fouled off. He's got a .308 average over the last 13 games that he's been in, so he's picking his pace up. Orioles have been able to hold him down pretty well in this one. Gregorius with a 2 ball, 2 strike count. But Showalter continuing to move up as far as managerial wins are concerned. 3rd on the list now for the Orioles. Ball club above 500, 31-30. 2-2 delivery on the way. Reaching off the leg. No play anywhere. Wouldn't have had it even if he feels it cleanly. So it'll be an infield single for Gregorius. Drew goes down to second base, and Wright deflected it towards third.
It looked like it was kind of heading towards J.J. Hardy up the middle. You see Gregorius going down to get it. Both middle infielders breaking, but Machado there, he thinks he can barehand. Take a look at Drew running, and then off that left foot of Mike Wright. Gets by Manny, but J.J. Hardy always in the right position there to back it up and keep Drew at second base.
So the Yankees get the first 2 on here in the second inning. And that will bring up John Ryan Murphy. First appearance in the series. And a big at bat with the Orioles up by a run. Murphy will foul that one back. He's not had a hit with a runner in scoring position, going 0 for 9. Not a lot of chances. Sunday catcher, if you will. Only 3 hits in his last 16 at bats. Drew and Gregorius are the base runners. The Orioles at double play depth. Murphy and then Williams, bottom part of the order for the Yankees. And that one is going to catch the outside corner for a strike.
Got to show that you can continue to throw that slider for strikes. Caleb Joseph starting to work it a little bit more. And get that pitch in the back of the heads of this Yankees offense. It might make that fastball get by a few more guys.
0-2 count. Hardy holds the runner at second. And that'll be fouled away. The Yankees still are second in the American League in runs scored, averaging 4.6. They're second in home runs. Joe Girardi's ball club pitching, though, has dropped again. Obviously, the Orioles adding to those woes. They're 9th in ERA for their starting pitching and 9th overall in earned run average. Orioles have jumped up from 8th to 4th in runs scored in the league. 0-2 delivery, and again that one riding in a little bit, and he fouls it back.
Well, he got lucky with that slider. Backed up on him. Stayed at the top of the zone. Caleb Joseph wanting to bury it down and away. When you get ahead of a hitter, especially a young hitter, expand the zone a little bit. Got the hard fastball, so he's trying to. The hitter's trying to gear up for that. We saw that last pitch just up out of the zone. Gave Ryan a good look.
0-2 count. Runners off first and second base, and that one's off the mask. Oh my gosh. That went about 50 rows back over the screen behind home plate.
Caleb all year taking some vicious shots to the face mask. Right off the top here and up into the stands.
Everything you ever wanted. 91 degrees, humidity up 60-70%, 5 pounds of equipment. You're crouching, and that one popped up. Maybe. Nope, nobody can get there. Not high enough. Caleb will meander back.
And Caleb, very durable. Any major league catcher that's back there for an extended amount of time certainly takes a beating, bruises after every ball game, and still has to keep things together, keep the pitching staff in check, and also produce offensively. And Caleb Joseph has been able to do that very well. Great numbers against the Yankees this year.
But what a luxury for the Orioles, with Wieters coming back, to have Caleb Joseph to be able to spread out those catching duties. Timeout asked for by Joseph. He wants to go through the signs again. 0-2 count. Drew and Gregorius picking up the singles. 7th pitch coming. We've got a lot of long at bats on both sides already. We're only in the second inning. That'll just miss outside. Murphy was looking inside as he strided towards third on that. He would have had no chance to hit a ball in the outside corner.
Boy, he had him. He had him set up for that pitch. Great fastball as well, just riding off the outside corner a little bit.
All right, you're the hitter. You guessing inside here?
Well,
or do you guess?
You just got to choke and poke here. I mean, right, so
1-2 to the middle. Flaherty dives, makes the flip. Didn't get him. Great play. It'll save a run. Drew has to stop at third, and another infield hit. Gardner had one in the first inning. Gregorius and Murphy have infield hits here in the second.
Oh, great play by Ryan Flaherty. He's been playing some exceptional defense at second base. Beautiful diving play. And you see J.J. Hardy, you got to become a first baseman if it's going to be a close play. He senses that. Beautiful effort there from Ryan Flaherty. Nice underhand feed. And then the stretch, but not quite soon enough to get the speedy Gregorius at second.
Well, this rookie's had himself quite a series. I mean, he's come in key situations to the plate. He is batting ninth with Ellsbury out. He was called up. Mason Williams to play center field. 1 for 2. Runners in scoring position. He's got them loaded for the first time in his major league career in this one. His first hit in his second at bat was a home run. Delivery by Wright and a ground ball. Chance for 2. Going to come to the plate. There's 1. That'll be it. But they get the run at the plate.
That is a great play from Chris Davis at first base. knowing the speed of the ball, speed of the runners. He just takes it where the ball takes him. He's got to come in. Another good pitch here, getting on the hands of Williams, and he recognizes it right away, breaks on the ball, makes the off-balance throw to home. Boy, that is some nice defense from Chris Davis to get the first out.
Now a ground ball can get right out of the inning. The bases remain loaded, still just one away. And here is Brett Gardner, the leadoff batter. He had an infield single and scored on Teixeira's double. His 8th infield hit of the year. He is the Yankee leader when it comes to infield hits. That will bring Machado in a bit at third, just off the grass. Pitch on the way. Gardner will take it outside. Gardner with the bases loaded this season, 1 for 3. That was a single. Yankees have had 3 grand slams this season. Stephen Drew picking up one of those. Teixeira and Young. 1-0 delivery, and that pitch is going to miss. So Wright works himself into a bit of a hole now with the sacks full.
A pretty good try there. Back-to-back changeups. Nice location by both pitches, but Gardner showing the nice veteran patience laying off those 2 quality pitches.
Gardner, opportunity to give the Yankees back the lead with a base hit here. 2-0 count. And he tried with a big cut.
Well, you get geared up. You finally get yourself in a good hitter's count. 2-0, and it's a 95-mile-an-hour fastball at the top of the zone. So hard to get to. You get a little bigger 2-0. Sometimes come out of your fundamentals, and right there, he wanted to put up a big crooked number on that big swing.
He is 8th in the American League with runners in scoring position at 359. 2-1 count. Strike at the knees. Cut the inside corner with that one to Gardner's dismay. 2-2.
Well, you got to cheat to get to this pitch. 96 miles an hour down and in. Going to do a lot of things right there. If you're thinking about anything else, it's going to be by you. Well, not even the attempt at the swing.
2-2. Wright's had a strikeout. You got Headley waiting on deck. A couple of left-handed batters. Crowd quiets. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Gardner will foul it back. Real battles early in this game. Both teams have scoring chances and just haven't even gone through the inning and a half yet. Yankees already 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position. The Yankees have had a tough time in the season with that. As far as those runners in scoring position are concerned, they are 7th, hitting at 257. The Orioles 1st, hitting at 300 in that department. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Wright's delivery to him. Of course, we're going to go 3-2.
Good at bat. And Gardner showing here. You got bases loaded and the 1 out. You don't have to be in a rush. You can wait for your pitch, and he continues to work right hard.
7th pitch of this at bat. 3-2, 1 down, bases loaded. Wright's delivery to him. It'll be fouled off, and they will do it again.
Get some tough pitches here. Continuing to stay at the top of the zone with that good fastball. And you know Gardner's got in the back of his head that fastball down and in.
Orioles trying to sweep the Yankees here at home for the first time since June of 2013. This at bat may go a long way in deciding that. And another one foul back. So Gardner battling here. At least 9 pitches in this at bat against Wright, and the bullpen already knowing they're probably going to be in this ball game sooner than later.
Yeah, their Yankees offense really making Mike Wright work. See in this inning, 24 pitches, up to almost 50, 48 right now total. And you see how he's working them on the pitch track. Most of those fastballs up at the top of the zone. That 4th pitch is a nasty fastball down and in.
3-2. Delivery again. And this one to center. Line drive. Adam ball. Adams going to make a run at it. Gregorius is coming. Throw to the plate. just not in time. A little bit late. Gregorius with real good speed. So Gardner gets the sac fly, and the ball game is tied at 2.
Good play all the way around. Mike Wright not giving in. Gardner, the nice at bat, pick up the sac fly, but you're hitting it to Adam Jones out in center field. You know there's going to be a play. Nice strong throw on the bullet. Caleb Joseph trying to put that swipe tag down, catches backside, but not a chance there. Gregorius, the speed, able to score the tying run.
So credit Gardner with the RBI, joining Teixeira today for the Yankees with runs batted in. He's got 28. Now Dave Wallace will go up to have a word with Headley coming up. Headley flied out first time up. Runners on at first and third. This may be as much to draw a breath as anything else. This has been a long inning. And Dave Wallace wanting him to have full strength here to go against Headley.
Yeah, there may be at times you see pitchers, especially young pitchers. Okay, bases loaded, no outs. Okay, the first out, get that out of the way and say, okay, I got to get number 2. You finally get the second out. You're minimizing the damage here. There are only 1 run's crossed, and there may be a little let up. So Wallace out there to make sure he stays on top of his game. Understand what we're trying to do to get Headley. And Tyler Wilson you see up in the Orioles bullpen.
Wilson called up from AAA Norfolk today. T.J. McFarland sent down. Pitch on the way. Wilson was scheduled to start at Norfolk and scratched, and here he is. So he's available for long duty today for the Orioles. And T.J. McFarland, who's been up and down, one of the few available for the Orioles to make a move with, ends up down at AAA again. He'll be back. 1-0 count, first and third, 2 down. Headley will take the pitch outside. The lefties are loaded in this lineup because they've hit 286 off right, with the right-handers only 184. So you've got Gardner, Headley, Teixeira, Jones, Drew, Gregorius, and Williams, all left-handers in this lineup against Mike Wright. 2-0 delivery on the way, takes it, strike.
And if you're going to have success against a lefty-loaded lineup, your changeup better be working. So one of your secondary pitches, and right now just missing with the change off that outside corner. Start catching the plate with that. Might even do some more swings, some more easy soft contact outs.
2-1 on Headley. 3-0-2 runners in scoring position. Good number, and there's a nice off-speed pitch, and he was way out in front.
Yeah, best one of the game so far by Mike Wright. Nice call by Caleb Joseph. Look at the location, bottom of the zone. When you keep the change down, you're going to get a nice little finish on it where it drops. Exactly what it did there. Get the second strike on Headley.
So the fans blooding for a strikeout here. Murphy on at third base, Williams on at first. 2-2. Wright's pitch to him, and that's what they got. He does limit the damage. He gets the strikeout to end it. Only 1 run in on 3 hits. 2 are left on. Tie game.
I just want to give a quick shout out to my parents, Mike and Liz, and also to my brother who's soon to join the Navy, Kenny. Also, one last thing. Let's go O's. Stay strong, Baltimore.
That during between innings, there's Mom and Dad, Michael and Liz Warshaw, Stephen and Shana Nardone also on hand here in the family, and a special greeting on the big board from Southeast Asia from Senior Airman John Warshaw. Nice moment. Ryan Flaherty will lead it off for the Orioles as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Flaherty to center, hit hard, played by Williams. Pitch and a note. Take a look at our Jeep inside the numbers.
Now Orioles powering up this season versus the American League East. Check out these rankings in the major leagues. Second in every huge offensive category. Home runs per game, 1.38. At bats per home run at 24.20. Slugging percentage up there. Isolated power. Of course, the isolated power, the slugging percentage, and batting average combined. So Orioles offense really starting to work on all cylinders right now. Of course, Manny Machado at the top, starting to hit some home runs. Chris Davis, Jones, Caleb Joseph swinging the bat well. 1 through 9, everybody contributing.
Caleb Joseph against the Yankees, unbelievable numbers. 3 for 4 home run RBI in this series. And overall against the Yankees, as we showed you, he is carrying an enormous .560 batting average this year against them. 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. That's improved his career number against the Yankees to .308 with 3 home runs. He has hit in 6 of the 7 that he's played in against the Yankees, and in all 6 of those games he's hit in, they have been multi-hit games. Bring on the Yankees, said Caleb. 1-2 pitch down the line and foul.
Well, really so important. I mean, those numbers are great going up against your own division. And I think a lot of these players have had this type of success, so they feel comfortable. They're not intimidated by a lot of the teams in the East like so many are. So it's hard to play the Red Sox, especially at Fenway Park. It's hard to play the Yankees at Yankee Stadium. So it's nice to see this young group of players, still a very young team, have that kind of confidence going into hostile territory.
That'll be the left fielder hauling it in. Gardner comes over. A couple of fly ball outs here. Our Maryland Lottery contestant of the game, Christy. I know that when I look at it. DiBenedetto from Elkridge. 500 for being selected. 500 more for every Orioles home run hit today. Play baseball bucks scratch off. Win up to $50,000. Enter your non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Visit mdlottery.com/baseball. DiBenedetto. I was trying to think, is that not Tony Bennett's real name? DiBenedetto?
No,
I think it's Tony DiBenedetto. Our research department will get into that momentarily. The pitch is a strike at the outside corner. Machado a base hit and a run scored. 2-2 ball game here in the bottom half of the second inning. 0-1 pitch. Adam Warren trying to have a quick inning here after a long 2-run 3-hit 7 to the plate first inning for the Orioles. Manny Machado in the series now has scored 6 runs in going 6 for 10. Pitch is inside and a 2-ball 1-strike count.
Adam Warren pretty interesting in the minor leagues. All he did is start, but when he got his opportunity at the major league level, right into the bullpen, he has made spot starts, and this year obviously more experience in the rotation.
Popped up second base. Drew will go back. He'll put it away. That will retire the side. And it is Tony Benedetto. I was close. Instead of DiBenedetto, Tony Bennett is just Tony Benedetto. Pass that along, folks. U.S. Army is being brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union, proudly serving the armed forces and their families for over 80 years. And by DynCorp International, we serve today for a better tomorrow. Today's game on Masson in celebration of the Army's birthday. Army, the largest, oldest established branch of the U.S. military. Thank all of our past and current members of the Army for their work and dedication in protecting our country. It's one of my great thrills doing football at West Point for the cadets. First game, first visit. I got to eat in the dining hall and mess with the cadets.
Nice.
With the leading woman officer of the cadet corps. It was great. Rodriguez. Anybody who's ever been to basic training in any of the services, especially the Army, knows that you get all the food you want. The only problem is you get 2 minutes 30 seconds to eat it. And for freshmen, first year the plebes at West Point, same problem. Ball put up in the air towards center. A-Rod on the fly ball to Jones will be retired. Let's take a look at our East Winds page. We were talking about the rankings in the division. Here are the rankings in June for the Orioles. You see in runs, they are second to Toronto. Toronto's got 75. In home runs, they are fifth. Toronto's got 16. In batting average, .294 Toronto. The Orioles are third this month. In ERA, the Orioles are fourth. And again, the ERA best of June goes to Toronto. Fouled off. Orioles are 10-1. And Orioles 8-4 rather, while Toronto's 10-1 this month. Toronto's got everything going, very much like the Orioles do, except they started about a week earlier.
Right.
In June. Ow! That one right at him, and there was no place to go.
He yanked that fastball, pushing him up in the middle of the back.
Trainer manager escorting Teixeira down to first. He'll stay in.
You see Caleb Joseph setting up in. There's Mike Wright making sure he got it in there. Always a little dangerous when it gets up high.
So that'll put the second batter of the inning on. Here in a 2-2 game. First, take that back. Actually, the third hit batter by Wright in the 27 innings he's pitched. Garrett Jones up. He'll go after the first pitch and foul it back. Jones, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Yankees battling here to avoid the sweep. And as we saw, especially in the first game, base runners early on, a lot of them for both teams. 0-1 delivery by Wright. That will be in the outside corner for a strike. 1 in, 1 away, 0-2.
We like that. Want to be able to locate the slider. He's thrown a couple good ones here last couple innings. The secondary pitches have got to be thrown over, at least show that he can throw them over for strikes if he wants to induce some swings out of the zone.
And that's going to be a base hit down the line. It'll go towards the corner. Snyder will cut it off. He's got a shot and holds the runner at first. Good play by Snyder to get to that ball. Garrett Jones took a big turn, then had to go back. The Yankees have runners at the corners, 1 out.
Little details of the game that the Orioles have been doing so well here recently. Yeah, Jones able to pick up the base hit. Teixeira on after getting hit up in the front shoulder area. But take a look at Travis Snyder cutting this ball off. He doesn't want to let it hit the wall. Flaherty turns around. Jones has to hold it first. Keep the double play in order. Nice defensive play there.
So Teixeira's over at third base, and Jones on at first. Yankees have their 6th hit off Wright. Here's Drew. He had one of them, a base hit in the second inning. And Drew will take it for his strike. Jones, picking up his first hit against the Orioles this year, had been 0 for 8 against the O's. He's on at first.
See Drew's numbers on the year: 9 home runs, 21 RBI, but just the 176 batting average. So it seems like all or nothing for Drew. Be careful making mistakes on the plate.
He's not done well in these situations, hitting 182 with runners in scoring position. Wright just missing on it, and a 1-ball 1-strike count. For Drew here in the month of June, as we've mentioned, it's been about the home run. Drew's been able to put a few balls out, 4 this month, hitting .242 in June. 1-1 delivery to him. Drew will pull that one foul.
Way out in front on the change. Mike Wright's best secondary pitch, that changeup. Another good one there in bottom of the zone.
Oriole pitchers all season long have been at their best, their starters, when there are runners in scoring position. They have held opponents way down. Coming into this one, Wright average 167 in these situations. And that one will be popped up. Caleb Joseph will give chase. And a big out. 2 down. Celebrate summer at Oriole Park, picking up the new Birdland Summer 6-pack. Choose any 6 remaining games. Enjoy savings up to 20% off the cost of single game tickets. You build the plan based on rivalry games, promotions like bobblehead dates, fireworks nights, your choice. For details, Orioles.com/6-pack or 888-848-BIRD. So the runners remain at first and third, only now there are 2 down. Gregorius had a base hit, scored in the second inning.
Well, Mike Wright's found himself in trouble in each of the first 3 innings. Once again, that's come up with a big pitch to get out of another jam.
2 away. And the pitch will be up high. Unlike Adam Warren, the Yankee pitcher, for Wright, first pitch strikes really matter, at least so far. 100-point difference. After a first strike, opponents are 182. If it's ball 1, 282. 1-0 pitch on the way, and a swing and a miss on one, kept right down low where you can't get it.
Yeah, another good change. Fall behind, hitter's thinking, well, he's going to try to get a strike with a fastball, and a quality change from Wright.
So Gregorius, 1-ball 1-strike count. He was trying to drive one. "25-year-old out of the Netherlands, grew up in Curacao with Arizona, brought over with Jeter's retirement coming. Major League 243 career hitter. He played in just under a couple hundred ball games prior to this season. 8 years in the pros. 2-1 pitch by Wright, and that ball to center. Jones coming. Hardy back, and Hardy's got it. So another great job by Mike Wright working out of a jam. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 2 are left on base. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. month.
You see the roller coaster ride that the Orioles have been on. 500 month of April, May, no hitting, good pitching. June, everything's starting to work together. But in my opinion, it comes down to defense. No J.J. Hardy, some injured infielders in April. Defense there. Defense there. So pitching and defense working together. The earned run average coming down. Opponent batting average coming down. Limiting opportunities. And when you get a little bit of extra offense, good things happen. 8-4 in the month of June.
And the defense has picked up to the point where the Orioles are now tied for the fewest errors committed and the second best defense percentage in the American League. They had been 7 or 8 for the first couple of months. Paredes will lead it off. Bottom of the third inning. 2-6-0 for the Yankees. 2-3-0 for the Orioles. Yankees have left 5. The Orioles have left 2 on base. Paredes, a strikeout victim, his first time up. He has picked the pace up. A swinging bunt. He's fast. There's the throw. And it hit him. He's safe. Tag will be put on, but Paredes made no turn to second base. So the Orioles are going to get one. And now Buck Showalter on his way out.
I said he was in the line.
Yeah.
You see him running on the grass. And a throw by Warren. Might have caught him on the elbow there. Home plate umpire Andy Fletcher making the call. He bounced out, saw where Paredes was, and immediately you see him putting the fist in the air.
Out of the line. So Buck Showalter. Now take a look at this. This is not subject to review on a challenge.
Well, whatever point Buck Showalter made right there, I'm sure it was a very good one. Because he always does with umpires. And here, you see Paredes running out on the grass. Now, of course, they're supposed to be in this box over here down the first base line, so you don't interfere with plays like that.
So the putout will go, I'm assuming, to Shera, closest defender. And one away here in the third inning. And a ground ball. What was it saying yesterday? Joe Girardi on Friday night. We were talking, I don't know how we got to that, but Joe said, why isn't there a safe base at first? And what he meant was that, said you want him running in the box. You don't want collisions, yet you got the base outside the line. Why not put the base back in the running lane?
I like that.
Made sense, because you're probably adding, now it's going to be 91 feet to second base.
Well, if you ran and if you made it lengthwise.
Yeah. Keep it in foul territory instead of being in fair territory, and you wouldn't avoid those collisions, and you'd avoid runners trying to cheat on the grass. Something to think about out there on the beach. Here's the 0-2 delivery on the way, and that'll be taken inside. Jones, a base hit. Run scored first inning, 2 RBIs. Reimold with the base hit that brought Manny Machado and Jones in. Adam now with a 5-game hit streak and 3 for 11 in this series. That'll be scooped off the plate. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Pitches piling up on both sides for these two starters.
And Adam Jones and so many of the Orioles will be working Warren. You see him being a little aggressive here, swinging at first pitches, but they settle into a bat and they're going good. They know their strike zone. They will make a pitcher work.
2-2 go the other way, and that one will be foul. Adam had a bit of a down in May. Here in June, coming in with a .333 batting average. He's had some good success with the long ball as well, and that's great news for the Orioles offense. 4 home runs this month. .313 average. 2-2 delivery on the way, and just reached for that and a number to second base. Drew will make the play on him. 2 down. Let's take a look at our PNC minor league report of one you may hear about.
Dariel Alvarez up to his ranking again this month, hitting .419, a home run, 9 RBI in just 11 games, and 5 multi-hit games in a row on that streak. This season, .271, 7 homers, 30 RBI in his 62 games.
So 2 down, nobody on. Here's Davis. Chris drew a walk, his first time up. He too has had the hot bat. Chris hitting .303 over the last 9 games. Hits in 7 of the last 9. Pitch will be up high. That may be one reason Warren has wanted nothing to do with Davis, who is 2 for 6 against him.
Well, most pitchers pick one guy they don't want to beat. And typically, it's the guy in the heart of the order, Chris Davis, who's been doing some damage.
Count goes 3-0, just like the first at bat.
7 pitches Davis has seen and 7 balls.
By the way, on that putout, they're going to call it a 1-3 on Paredes. 3-0 delivery on the way. Got one and fouls it back the other way. And a 3-ball, 1-strike count. Toronto's jumped out to a 6-0 lead against Boston. They're in the 4th inning of that ball game. Eduardo Rodriguez allowed a run in the first. He's allowed 6 runs in the 4th. All of them earned. Toronto, like the Orioles, their offense right now is just so hot. They're trying to win their 11th in a row. 3-ball, 2-strike count. That's fouled off. With the Red Sox struggling, they're now 7 games behind the Yankees and Tampa Bay. And no longer is the American League East the division that has the closest top to bottom numbers. It's the American League Central. Those 5 teams are separated by 6.5 games. Davis is out of there, and it ends up being a 1-2-3 inning. We've completed 3 here at Camden Yards on this Sunday. The Yankees and the Orioles are tied 2-2. Book your low fare now at Southwest.com and by your local Mercedes dealership. Gary Thorne and Mike Wardick with you on the Sunday afternoon. Long homestand for the Orioles. Wrapping up this series, and then 2 games coming up against Philadelphia. There's a young lady who's got a pretzel that looks like a horseshoe and a face. Well, turn around here. Come on. Look at that. Look. I don't think that came from the pretzel. Maybe the chocolate ice cream. Or
Right.
There's John Ryan Murphy. Murphy, a base hit, stranded in the 3rd inning. Wright's delivery. That's a breaking ball. That's going to be up high. 70 pitches thrown. We've already seen warm-up action in the Oriole bullpen earlier. We'll see how far. Wright certainly wants to get through 5 here, give himself a chance to be a winning pitcher if the Orioles have a lead when he leaves. 2-0.
It'll be good if he could a couple quick outs here. The Yankees have had pressure on him in the first 3 innings, so very laborful.
2-0 pitch, and that's way outside. And again, throwing from the side, so much so that he ended up doing a 360 in the follow through.
Yeah.
And the pitch went exactly where he threw it.
You got to get everything kind of going towards home plate. You start getting that sideways action. You fall off the mound. You lose your command of the zone.
In with that one, taken all the way. 3-1 strike count. Williams, center fielder, then Gardner, top of the order, due up for the Yankees. 3-1 delivery on the way, ripped towards third. Manny Machado's got it, bobbled it, gets it, and throws him up. Leadoff man gone here in the fourth inning. Orioles and Indians are going to meet at Oriole Park, a 3-game weekend series starting Friday, June 26th. On Saturday, the 27th, the first 25,000 fans 15 and over get the Buck Showalter Garden Gnome. Don't miss this unique keepsake. It'll become an instant collector's item for Birdland fans everywhere. Tickets, Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. A gnome by any other name. Pitch is taken outside. Buck may want to put that in the wife's flower garden. Apparently the foxes are attracted to the fox gnomes that she has in the garden. He said that this morning. I'm not making it up.
I know.
Williams, the pitch will be taken inside. And a 2-0 count.
Yeah, he's got two fox gnomes in there, right?
Yes.
Maybe he can get two of his own gnomes and just set them on the back or something like that.
It would scare him off.
Fun.
Pitch is taken outside. Wright struggling here with control, and the count goes to 3-0, as are we. One down, nobody on. He hit into a fielder's choice his first time up. Dave Wallace has been out there once. 3-0 delivery, and that pitch is in there for a strike. TJ McFarland sent down, and Buck was talking about that this morning, saying they really want to work on him coming into innings where not the beginning but in the middle of innings. That one's going to go to short. Hardy's got that one, and just in time. Williams has got some speed. Let's take a look at the Orioles' upcoming schedule, brought to you by Mile One Automotive, offering you 20 convenient locations throughout the Baltimore area. Visit them in store or online at mile1.com.
Well, the Phillies heading south on 95, coming down to visit the Orioles at Camden Yards tomorrow night and Tuesday night, and then the Orioles jump on the bus and head up to Philly for Wednesday-Thursday matchup.
Philadelphia, one of those teams 11 games behind. Oakland's 10.5 out in the American League West. In the Central, Milwaukee 17.5 games behind the Cardinals. As the Cardinals playing some of the best baseball going. And the pitch is in there for a strike. Here's Brett Gardner, leadoff batter. Single, run scored, sac fly, and an RBI. His second time up. Orioles, after their 21st win at home, they are 20-12 here at Camden Yards. And those 20 wins are tied for first at home in the American League. Toronto's won 20 of their games at home. Minnesota 20-12 at home. Houston has won 20 games at home. 20 is the top number. 0-2 delivery on the way outside, 1-2.
Well, the Orioles need that. I mean, there are a couple keys that you need during the season. Playing well in your home park is certainly one of those. Playing well in your division and having a nice record on the road. Now, we saw the Orioles really take advantage of all three of those last season when they walked away with the East. This year, playing well at home. Struggles on the road they need to pick back up. But I'll tell you what, this home series here is one that can really build confidence. We've seen what it's done as everything works together for this team. And right now, when you watch the Orioles play, you have to look at them as one of the best teams in the game.
8-game homestand to be followed by an 8-game road trip, with those 2 in Philly, 3 in Toronto, a day off, and then 3 in Boston. 2 ball, 2 strike count with 2 down. Wright piling them up here with 84 pitches thrown. Trying to get through this fourth with a 1-2-3 inning. Hasn't had a clean inning yet. That'll be inside to Gardner. So again, Gardner's able to work the count to 3 balls and 2 strikes. We have had so many 7-pitch at bats in this game, particularly for the Yankees. Gardner 7 hits in his last 25 times to the plate. 3-2 delivery to him. Ground ball to the middle. Hardy was shaded that way. Short hops and gets it. So there is a 1-2-3 inning. Yankees are retired. Ball game tied 2-2.
Thank you to all the military personnel who serve our nation. You are true heroes.
Summer day at the ballpark, a 2-2 game with the Orioles after the sweep of the Yankees and a 7-game win streak. If they can pick up the win here in the Sunday afternoon. Here's Nolan Reimold, already 2 RBIs, picked up a base hit. Reimold with a 1-strike count from Adam Warren. Yankees have hit the Orioles 6-3, but they've left 5 on base. The Orioles only 2. And that pitch will be taken away. Reimold, career 300 numbers against the Yankees, and he's had a few games against them over the years. 300 career batting average and 8 home runs coming into the ball game tonight against New York. Took something off that. Good pitch caught the outside corner, 1-2.
Now Warren struggled against this Orioles offense in the first inning, giving up a couple, but he's settled down. Really starting to get the feel for all of his pitches, mixing them up. Not falling into any type of pattern.
Reimold will take it down low. Nolan, 31 years old now. Major league numbers, 251 career coming into the season, 315 major league games. 2-2 delivery on the way. Thought about it. Too tight. Didn't go around on it. And works the count full. Outfield deep on him. They give him the gap in left center. You go the other way with it and into the seats, foul ball.
Nolan showing the opposite field power in yesterday's ball game, hitting one up into the flag court. Coming from AAA Norfolk, very tough to hit home runs there. Only had 2 home runs in AAA, but the wind blowing off the water knocks everything down. One of the toughest hitting parks in all of baseball.
3-2 delivery, and that one will be foul back.
Well, he's happy to be hitting here at Camden Yards again. A couple home runs on this series.
So he's already had a 7-pitch at bat. Warren up to 61 pitches thrown. And he will take it. So that's one of those big leadoff walks here in the 4th inning of a tie game. When the Orioles win, everyone wins. When the Orioles win and score 5 or more runs, you get 50% off regular menu price online orders at papajohns.com by entering promo code Orioles5. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Valid at participating Baltimore area Papa John's. Orioles have certainly been helping out in the pizza department. 11 runs Friday, 9 Saturday, and they won both games. So the leadoff man is on for the Orioles, and Reimold with that exceptional speed. And Travis Snider will take the pitch outside. He flied out to left his first time up. 2 walks in the ball game from Warren. A lot of hit streaks in this lineup. Machado's extended his to 8, Jones to 5, Reimold to 4. Snider has a 4-game hit streak. And that pitch is going to miss. And that will bring Murphy out from behind the plate.
And maybe not finishing out in front. Losing a couple pitches there, especially the off-speed pitches on his arm side. That means he's letting go a little too soon. Not finishing over the front side. Even losing a couple fastballs there to Nolan Reimold up and in.
Reimold edging off first base, being held by Teixeira. Snider goes after it. Silo shot infield, third base. Headley is there and puts it away. Snider's retired. The Orioles and Indians are going to meet here at Oriole Park, the 3-game weekend series on Friday, June 26th. On Sunday, the first 20,000 fans 15 and over get the Orioles cap presented by DAP. Don't miss this annual fan favorite and enjoy a summer afternoon at the park. For tickets, Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. 1 away. Reimold remains on first base. Hardy flied out to center field his first time up. Orioles are now 5-4 against the Yankees on the season. Orioles coming into the game with a .307 batting average against the Yankees, the highest they have against any team this year. Add to it a base hit into left. Stopping at second base is Reimold, 2-1.
Hardy primarily gets pitched on that outer third, but he's hunting that inner third, and there a mistake by Warren. The 2-seamer leaking back over, and he just peppers it through the 5-6 hole. You see that action riding in on Hardy, and he gets the pitch he's looking for. Lucky he got that ball, or the Yankees lucky he hit that ball in the middle. If he gets underneath it a little bit, might be down that Hardy line in left field.
Another hit streak extended, 7 now for J.J. Hardy. Ryan Flaherty coming up, flied out to center field his first time up. Flaherty's really giving them some pop at second base. Jonathan Scope's supposed to be here at the ballpark today, but Showalter wasn't sure when he was going to arrive. He is not ready to play, but is working out. And hopefully we'll get back to some baseball stuff shortly. 0-1 count, 1 away. Flaherty's had 12 multi-hit games. Puts that one up in the air to left. Gardner going over, and it's in the seats.
Now Ryan Flaherty having an exceptional year offensively and defensively. Of course, known for his versatility. You can put him anywhere on the field, but trust him defensively. The bat at times a little bit of a liability. He had opportunities but wasn't able to capitalize on it. But here, looking very good for an extended amount of time at the plate. He has great body control. Seems like the lower half is underneath him, limiting the head movement, and he's starting to use the whole field. There are times when I think all they had to do is flip a breaking ball up there, and Ryan would get himself into a position where he couldn't handle those pitches. Where he's hitting everything right now. I think this is a big part of this Orioles offense, to have Flaherty going at the bottom of the order.
And that one will be foul tipped and held on to. So Ryan Flaherty, a strikeout victim. That'll be 3 picked up by Warren.
Pretty good pitch right here. Take a look at this slider. Throw it hard, 88 miles an hour. Gets on the side of it. Not only does it have that slider action, but good tilt as it drops down underneath the hands of Flaherty.
Runners remain at first and second base. Warren trying to work his way around a potential lead for the Orioles in the inning. Caleb Joseph flied out his first time up. Among his big numbers that we told you about, also 379 with runners in scoring position. All career high numbers we've talked about for Caleb Joseph this season. And he's got a chance to add to the RBI total. Reimold, second base, Hardy on at first, 2 down. And a swing and a miss, and that slider down. 1 ball, 1 strike count.
Pitch starting to come up big here for Warren. A couple different sliders. Takes a little off, like that one. Almost becomes slurvy. The hard slider. A little bit of movement coming in, looking like the fastball. Enough movement right at the end. Get the swing and misses.
Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way. Carries a 1-win, 2-loss record. Warren does against the Orioles with that big ERA. It's only his second career start against the Orioles. He pitched entirely out of the bullpen last year. 69 appearances, all out of the pen.
And he may be heading right back to the pen. For as good as he's been pitching in this rotation, I mean.
Little one to right field, may fall in. They were deep. It will. Jones could not get it. 1 run to score. Throw to second and in with a 2-bagger. And Caleb Joseph keeps those numbers coming. And the Orioles have a 3-2 lead.
Clutch hitting right there from Caleb Joseph. Reimold continuing to get the high fives in the Orioles dugout as the O's take the lead. Red hot bat of Caleb Joseph.
What a job he is doing. Orioles 28-3 when he gets an RBI, and he's got one.
Warren missing his spot, wanted the fastball away. It leaks back in, but Caleb Joseph pulling the hands inside. And the effort there by Jones kicks off his glove. Reimold scores. Bobby Dickerson holding J.J. Hardy at second base, but nice base running by Caleb. He finds himself at second base.
So the Orioles up by 1, and another visit to the mound by Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach. The Yankees do not have anybody up in the bullpen, which is kind of surprising here.
Well, Warren on a nice little streak where he's pitched 6 innings in his last 6 innings or more in his last 5 starts. So kind of used to getting a little bit deeper. Girardi's been stretching him out. He feels more comfortable, I think, getting through the 3rd time through in a lineup. He's had some success here in his last 5 or 6 starts.
So it's his. 2 down and 2 in scoring position. What a big at bat this is. Manny Machado. Machado will pop that one up. Teixeira, to that high glare, will put it away. So the Orioles will get the go-ahead run. Joseph gets the double. They leave 2 on. The Orioles up by 1. on fries.
Yummy.
Well put. We open our Major League notebook to this date in Major League history. Back in 1876, George Hall became the first Major League player to hit for the cycle. Still not that common occurrence in baseball. And in 2006, Russ Ortiz became the highest paid player to be cut by an MLB team. Some $33 million in the contract. Ooh. And about 23 of that still owed.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Mm-hmm.
And a good time was had by all.
Yeah, good agent.
Here is Headley to lead it off against Wright. Depending on how quickly this inning goes or not. See if Wright goes beyond it. Taken outside, Headley is flied out and struck out. 4 for 10 so far in the series. Orioles back on top by 1. 1-0 delivery, and that'll be a wave for a ball.
Well, you wonder about the sweat being a factor. A lot of times Mike Wright reaching down, grabbing some dirt, rubbing the hand on the pants.
2-0 delivery, and he's fallen behind a number of hitters in the ball game. Has gotten back to get the 3-2 counts, but that's a tough way to go through any afternoon. 2-1 delivery, and that ball foul back. Well, the count goes 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Good job to work himself back here. That last inning was his first 1-2-3 inning, and yeah, he was behind all 3 guys. Found a way to come back and induce the 3 ground balls.
And there's another one. So we go again to a 3-ball, 2-strike count. 11 out of 19 first pitch strikes have been thrown by both pitchers in the ball game. More important to Wright than Warren based on their numbers this year. Timeout asked for again by Caleb Joseph. 3-2. Rodriguez to Sherrup. Due up here in the Yankee half of the 5th. 3-2. And a leadoff walk. For all those 3-2 counts, that is the first walk surrendered by Wright in the ball game. Well, show us what you got, Birdland. Adam Jones wants you to challenge him to anything. Just tweet your challenge using hashtag #IChallengeAJ all week long for your chance to win. Visit masson.me/IChallengeAJ to learn more. Brought to you by Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield, who encourages each of us to take that first step towards a more active lifestyle. Alex Rodriguez, 2 fly ball outs in the ball game. Runner on at first and nobody out. And the breaking ball will catch the outside corner for a strike. Continues his climb on those all-time lists. 4th now, home runs. 666. No comment. 0-1. Another one that's going to miss outside. There you see the most home runs and where he is.
Trailing Barry Bonds with 762. Hank Aaron, Babe Ruth right there. A-Rod behind them, just past Willie Mays.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Fans' reactions worth the price of admission, and his. 2-1.
Well, a couple good sliders to start A-Rod off with, and then this fastball working up and in knocks him off the plate a little bit. Probably not the first time Alex Rodriguez has been knocked down, nearing 3,000 hits, and we talk about all those home runs he's hit. So plenty of at bats. A pitcher to lose one, maybe a time or 2 up and in.
2 ball, 1 strike count. And that's outside to it. Here in this series, he moved into 2nd place all-time in RBIs. Only Hank Aaron has more. Brian Mattis back on the roster today. 8-game suspension served. He's warming up in the bullpen. 5 more hits to reach 3,000 for Rodriguez. 3 ball, 1 strike count. Headley off first. Set up outside Caleb Joseph. Pitch is swung on and missed. 3-2.
There it is. Hit it if you can. Good fastball, 94 miles an hour. Back even count.
Mark Teixeira on deck. 3-2. Runner not going. And A-Rod's on. So that's 2 walks here in the 5th inning. And Wright is nearing the end of the tether on this start. 2 on and nobody out. And Joseph being sent out to the mound. Draw a little time here with Mark Teixeira coming up and nobody out.
Maybe just a little gassed right now. Command not quite there for Mike Wright. We're laboring through the first 3 innings with a lot of pitches thrown. He's up 98 pitches right now.
So the Orioles will look for that ground ball. Teixeira, of course, the RBI leader in the American League, added to it with the double in the 1st inning. He was hit by a pitch, stranded in the 3rd. Now he gets another chance here. Real grinded out affair on this Sunday. Every half inning seemingly. Pitch on the way to him. Teixeira with a tremendous uppercut, foul tips it into the mitt, and an 0-1 count.
Good changeup.
Piling up the numbers again. Yankees are 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position here today. They were 3 for 21 in the first 2 games. Gets away. Runners move up, and Wright's now his own worst enemy. 2 wild pitches in the ball game. Now they're both in scoring position.
Well, some inconsistencies here in this game. Good pitches, bad pitches. That one on the bad pitches held on to the changeup. It's a little too long after throwing a beautiful change the first pitch.
Now Teixeira's base hit. The Yankees can be on top. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Teixeira will take it inside. Sometimes you have a pitcher having a bad day, and there goes Joseph again. You have a hard time defining what it is, but not today. It's a release point, huh?
Yeah, it seems like it. I think his delivery a little inconsistent today. A lot of times when you watch pitchers, especially pitchers that the Orioles have, like a Wei-Yin Chen, it's a nice, smooth, kind of repeatable delivery. At times, big guys can get in trouble if their mechanics are off a little bit. The command obviously goes down, and there have been times here Mike Wright's kind of fallen off a little too hard to that first base side.
2 ball, 1 strike count. Teixeira will take it, and the count goes to 3-1. Jones waiting on deck. Another one of those left-handed bats. This lineup of the Yankees susceptible to the Orioles left-handers in the bullpen in this game, as Joe Girardi loaded them up against Wright left-handers in the lineup. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Teixeira going for the long ball, and another 3-2 count.
Mike Wright really having to work. Well, he's in the 3-1 count. A big body letting that one fly for a strike. Pretty good delivery there.
Big bat after big at bat in this game with these runners on, and Wright will step off. Leadoff walks. Headley and Rodriguez. Wild pitch moved him up. This is the 6th full count. 3-2 delivery on the way, and they're loaded. 3 consecutive walks, and that's it for Wright. He had not walked anybody prior to this inning, and he's walked all 3. So he will come out having worked only 4+ innings and throwing 104 pitches. Now the bullpen with a mighty task. Brian Mattis is back. Welcome back, Brian.
fastballs. Pretty similar to what he's done all year long, but the breaking ball not there. Had to go to the changeup. And then it was, I think, just the fact that the Yankees putting so much pressure on him first 3 innings, only lasting 4 innings. The 3 walks today all coming in that 5th inning. Well, it's time for a little relief for your car, too. Visit Jiffy Lube for regular oil changes and help prevent damage and wear to your engine. Jiffy Lube. Drive in today. Brian Madison, after serving his 8-game suspension, see his pitch arsenal. Fastball 46% of the time, the breaking ball, and the change from Mattis. 3.44 earned run average, 14 punch-outs, 11 walks in his 18 and a third. Opponent sitting 258 overall. Lefties 241, righties at 270. Fly ball percentage up to 74%.
Bases loaded, nobody out. Left-hander Jones up against him. Brian has not pitched since the 31st of May. 8-game suspension, so it's been a long time. And now you see inherited runners, 4 out of 8. It's a very big half inning. That pitch is going to miss. Count goes 2-0. He came into the season about 84% of inherited runners not scoring. But as you saw, the 4 out of 8 this year. Opponents are hitting .263 against him with runners in scoring position. And a swing as he got one by him at 91 miles an hour.
A couple off-speed pitches, falls behind. Has to challenge him with a fastball. A little extra right there. Getting it by Jones.
Brian Mattis, this is appearance number 4 against the Yankees this year. 1 run, 4 hits, a walk, and 3 strikeouts against them. Here's the 2-1 delivery on the way, and no place to put him. 3-1. Jones has faced him only once, 0 for 1. Headley, Rodriguez, Teixeira, the base runners, all with walks. 3-1, 3-2.
The fastball here, so 2 times swinging through the fastball. You see the Nissan pitch track. Throws it over the heart of the plate. Basically right down the middle. 2 swing and misses.
You've had all 4 hitters go 3-2 in this inning. 3-2 delivery, and he walks in a run. Ball game is tied. 4 consecutive walks by Wright and Mattis. That'll bring Headley in. RBI credited to Jones. 3-3 ball game.
And the problem, no outs right now. So Orioles defense been sitting in the sun quite a while. Got to come up with a big play here, though, for Brian Mattis. And Mike Wright.
That will bring Drew to the plate. Steven Drew in the game has a single, and he has popped out. Drew 0 for 7 off Brian Mattis. And that pitch is going to be on the inside corner for a strike. Three game. Lead runners, Rodriguez, Teixeira, of course, the responsibility of Wright. 0-1 pitch on the way, and that'll be foul. Back look out. Over by the first row on the far side. And an 0-2.
Yeah, good breaking ball there from Brian Mattis.
Drew is hit .234 off lefties, 151 off right-handers.
Well, Brian can go to work kind of expanding the zone a little bit. So Drew's batting average down there, so he's had some struggles. Expand the plate. Strikeout would be huge for Mattis.
0-2 got him on the outside corner. Brian Mattis. Big strikeout. Drew not agreeing with Andy Fletcher, home plate umpire.
There you go. 1, 2, 3. Breaking ball catching the outside corner. Huge strikeout for Brian Mattis, and really hoping to minimize the damage here. Comebacker. He already talked to J.J. Hardy. Wants him to go home.
Gregorius has struggled against the left-handers. Only 162. About 80 points lower than against right-handers. A single, and he is popped out. Bases remain loaded. Rodriguez, Teixeira, and Jones. That is on the outside corner for a strike. Bases loaded walk to Jones, his 10th run batted in of the year. Oh, 1 delivery to him, foul back. So Brian Mattis gets ahead of him, 0-2.
There you go. Same situation he had Drew in. Job being aggressive in the zone right here.
Yankees in this series now have had 4 hits and 28 at bats with runners in scoring position. 0-2 the count. Credit Oriole pitching with some great jobs in these situations. Almost fell over on that. He didn't go around. Jerry Meals at third.
A nice try with the breaking ball. Good job by Caleb Joseph. Good call. Caleb going down with the backhand. Pick it out of the dirt. You see Gregorius just holding it up. Bat head not moving too much.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Infield, outfield rather, drawn in a couple steps. Swing and a miss. He gets him. So Brian Mattis, 2 strikeouts after the bases loaded walk. 2 down.
Slow him down, speed him up. Painted fastball, 92 miles an hour on the outside corner. Really good pitch after to follow it up with the fastball after the big breaking ball. Gregorius check swung on.
So Murphy, 250 off lefties, 220 overall. Base hit, popped out. Will take the pitch. Or grounded out. 1-0 count. And Brian Mattis in a bases loaded, nobody out situation. 1 run has scored. Be hugely successful if he can keep it right there. 1-0 delivery on the way to Murphy. That'll be inside. And the count goes 2-0. Long wait for Brian to get back, having to do bullpen work. He simulated stuff, but obviously never the same as being out on the mound. You said T.J. McFarland sent down to AAA, left-hander, then long duty. 2-0 pitch on the way, down to third. It is a fair ball. It'll score Rodriguez. It'll score Teixeira. It will be a double. A 2-out double by John Ryan Murphy, and the Yankees have a 5-3 lead.
Well, Machado almost came up with that one. Pretty good effort right there. Murphy just jumping on the inside fastball, dropping the head on it. Look at this, Manny Machado extendo, but he smoked that ball. Almost got by him on the dive. We'll get a little bit of leather on it, slows it down. See, he's scoring Teixeira there.
So those runs will be charged to the starter. Bright, 5 runs, 6 hits over 4+ innings, and makes it a 5-3 game. Dave Wallace out to talk to Brian Mattis. Like Wright, all 3 walks here in the 5th inning that Wright surrendered have scored. And here's Williams, Mason Williams with 2 down. 2 more in scoring position for him, and he will pop the ball up third base side. Manny Machado backing up. Hardy's got a better angle, and he will put it away. So 8 come to the plate here in the 5th inning. 3 walks, they all scored. The Yankees lead at 5-3. Celebrating the birthday of the U.S. Army, brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union, proudly serving the armed forces and their families for over 80 years. And by DynCorp International, we serve today for a better tomorrow. 240 years ago, U.S. Army established. Masson and our proud sponsors salute all of the America's Army for their willingness to sacrifice and protect the U.S. of A. Yankees on top, 5-3. They're now out hitting the Orioles 7-5 as they look to avoid the Orioles sweep. Big crowd on hand for this one. Philadelphia tomorrow night. Coming into town to play the Orioles. Interleague play. Wei-Yin Chen, Aaron Harang in the first game. Chris Tillman, Jerome Williams in the second. Both are 7 o'clock games Monday and Tuesday to wrap up the homestand. 6:30 O's extra, 7 for the ball game. Jimmy Paredes leads it off here. And he'll take it inside. 0 for 2 in the ball game. Adam Warren trying to get his outs here in the 5th so he could possibly be a winning pitcher in this game. That one's going to be a base hit. Paredes, Orioles DH, leadoff single. Open up our Major League Notebook. Take a look at our Sunday columns. From Rich Griffin with the Toronto Star. It's been a spectacular week for baseball in Canada. The past honored at St. Mary's, Ontario, Saturday. Introduction to Carlos Delgado, Matt Steers, Corey Koski, and Philippe Alou to the Hall of Fame. The present is being recognized by the resurgent Blue Jays, 10-game win streak, and the future on display with 30 young Canadians selected in the June draft. Rich Griffin right, a solid week for baseball in Canada.
Yeah, pretty impressive stuff, right? I can't believe how many players are getting drafted out of Canada nowadays.
Yeah. They don't get to play. I mean, it's tough playing. I mean, British Columbia has a lot of them because the weather is more conducive to getting some baseball games in. Swing and a miss by Adam Jones. He has single scored and grounded out. Runner on at first base. Yankee bullpen active. Orioles' 6th hit of the game on the Paredes single. Jones base hit first inning, continued his hit streak to 5. Adam Warren's 80th pitch of the game is a looper, hitting foul, and Jones behind on the count, 2 strikes.
Warren continuing to do a good job mixing up his pitches. Kind of keeping this Orioles offense at bay a little bit. The Orioles offense pounded up 31 hits in the first 2 games. A little bit of a surprise to see him held down to 6 at this point, but you know they're not going to give up and keep swinging it.
0-2 the count. Brady's off first base. Jones chases up high. Strikeout number 4 for Adam Warren.
Warren has the great ability to add, subtract, work in and out, and up and down. After a couple good pitches down and in, climbs the ladder up to the top of the zone, up and out. Not only just to change eye level, but possibly induce a swing, and he gets Jones there.
So Chris Davis will give it a whirl. He has drawn a walk and struck out. Brady's still on at first. Shift on in the infield. That double play depth. Good stop by Murphy.
Adam Warren pitched in college at the University of North Carolina. I was in the same rotation as Mets star Matt Harvey. So it was a pretty good rotation there at UNC.
1-0 delivery on the way. That would be a Friday-Saturday combination.
Yeah.
College baseball, you play in the weekend series usually. And your rotation, if you will, is set up. The Friday-Saturday starters tend to be your 2 best. 2-0 count. Brady's off first base, and that's a strike in the inside corner. Chris thought that was going to come in a little bit, and it didn't. It just hung true to the inside corner of the plate. 2-1.
Yeah, that changeup at times pretty good fade there, and he starts that one inside, and it does indeed fade back, stay on that inner third.
2-1 delivery. Davis will pop it up the other way, and that will be in the seats. Shreve up in the bullpen. Jason Shreve. Yankees have had to restructure their bullpen. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Inside pitch right off the handle.
Well, 3 pitches inside. One a changeup, about 81 miles an hour. Then a fastball, 92, and then the breaking ball. Well, 3 different looks, all on the inside corner.
Two-ball, 2-strike count. And we go full. I was talking about the Phillies and Pirates played that extra inning ball game, 13 innings, 0-0. Finally 1-0 win Pittsburgh. They've done it again. They are 0-0 in the 9th inning.
Oh.
Phillies and Pirates are playing that series in Pittsburgh. That's unbelievable. 3-2 delivery on the way, and he walked him. So the Orioles, with only one away, pick up the 3rd walk from Adam Warren and have 2 on. And the Orioles' opportunity again, get those runs right back. For every Orioles walk, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield contributes $50 to the March of Dimes. 147 walks, $7,350. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. 2 on, 1 down. Reimold. 2 RBI base hit in the first inning, a walk and a run scored in the 4th. Larry Rothschild, the Yankee pitching coach, and Joe Girardi. It's not if, but when did they go get Adam Warren. 1 down. Fooled on the delivery at 84, looking heater.
A little in between right there. Sold out on the fastball and ended up getting a little slider at the top of the zone.
Toronto still leading Boston 10-5 in their game, 7th inning, looking for their 11th consecutive win. Part of the Orioles' next road trip, 3 games in Toronto. 0-1 the count. That's going to be their first strike. 10-game win streak is the longest in the major leagues at this point. Rodriguez gave up 9 earned runs in 4 2/3 innings in that ballgame. Eduardo Rodriguez. He pitched so well against the Orioles.
Oh, yes.
0-2 count. Teaser. 1-2.
Warren showing the command of the slider. 3 sliders in a row. Instead of climbing the ladder with the fastball up, work the slider away. Just a little bit more every time. Almost got Reimold to bite on it, but nice take.
Nolan 1-2, runners off first and second. He's gone, inside corner strike. So Warren locates it. That'll be strikeout number 5.
3 sliders in a row, and the 3rd one well off the plate, but here dotting a fastball inside. And pitch track showing might have been just off that inside corner. See how Murphy slides it back in.
So that will be it for Warren. Now each team into their bullpens. Girardi out to make the change with the Yankees on top, 5-3.
6 innings or more comes to an end, only lasting 4 2/3 in this ball game. You see his pitch arsenal: 45% fastballs, mixing in everything. The breaking ball 38% of the time. Typical. Most pitchers that face this Orioles lineup, you'll see more breaking balls, and Warren following suit there. Change up a good one today, 17% of the time.
Shreve was acquired from Atlanta in a deal in the offseason by the Yankees. He originally was selected in the 11th round of the 2010 draft. Shreve has been with the Yankees for a couple of times now this season. This is his second stint with the ball club. Last outing against Washington on the 9th. He went 2/3 of an inning, shut him down. So he's been up and down, AAA and here with the Yankees.
Pretty good number there, 11 for 13. Inherited runner stranded. Pretty good, featuring a good fastball, 89 to 93, but a split finger, best secondary pitch from him.
Snyder's faced him once, 0 for 1, gets another chance here. Orioles have runners at first and second, 2 down, 2 for 7, with runners in scoring position for the Orioles today. So that'll make him 15 for 38 in these situations in this series. 1-0 count. Yankees got 3 runs, top half of the inning. Orioles trying to get at least one of them back here. 1-0 delivery, and that'll be into the screen. By the pace of this game and those others in the league, we're going to have a lot of finals coming up before we get done. One already. Tampa Bay beat the White Sox 2-1 this afternoon. Tampa Bay is tied with the Yankees for first coming into today's play. So at least for the moment, Tampa Bay with their 35th win is in first place in the East. 1-1 delivery on the way, and that'll be down low and a bouncer. 2 ball, 1 strike count.
Now Warren, we just saw finish up this ball game. He may be headed to the bullpen pretty soon. Nova's on his way back. Understand starting making some rehab starts. Warren might be the pitcher slotted back for the bullpen. The bullpen certainly could use some help. They've lost Miller on back end.
2-1 delivery by Shreve, and that's there. So he gets the strike, evens up the count at 2-2. Shreve's second game against the Orioles this year went 2 innings, no runs, 1 hit, and 2 strikeouts in the other appearance. He's 24 years old, attended the College of Southern Nevada. He is from Las Vegas. 2 ball, 2 strike delivery. The other way, Gardner was playing in. Was he playing far enough in? Yep. And he hauls it in. Umpire says in fair territory. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 are left on base.
Camden Yards. Reimold staying red hot, picking up the base hit, driving in Manny Machado and Adam Jones. And Caleb Joseph, he has done some serious damage against the Yankees. Well, he continues to, picking up a base hit, driving in Reimold from Murphy. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Machado can't come down with it. Picks up the big hit to put the Yankees ahead, scoring A-Rod and Teixeira. Remember, Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote.
That's not sped up, by the way. He is. The video's not.
More cotton candy, Mom. Quick, go get it.
Here is Brett Gardner. He would have fit right into Hyundai's in Hamden, wouldn't he?
Right.
1-0 count. Ryan Mattis came on, pitched the inning, getting the 3 outs in the 5th. Way out in front of that one. Gardner single, run scored, RBI and a sac fly, and he has grounded out for Brett Gardner. 220 off lefties, 70 points higher against right-handers. Brian Mattis works here. This lineup still predominated by the lefties. Headley on deck, switch hitter. Gardner 2 for 18 off Brian Mattis. So he's had some real problems with the Orioles left-hander.
Yeah, this is an important part of the ball game. With the Yankees, Girardi still not going to the bench. Take some righties off against Mattis because there's still a lot of game left. So Mattis has really got to shut the door against all these lefties. I hope that the Orioles offense can get the runs back.
1-2 pitch by Mattis and close. Try to get that inside corner on him. Count goes to 2-2. The Orioles glad to have their left-hander back and need it in the bullpen today. Two-two delivery, and that is there. Mattis gets his 3rd strikeout. Took care of him in a hurry.
Yeah, great pitch right here from Brian Mattis. That fastball down, lower 3rd. Gardner not liking it. Filling up the whole box, though. Beautiful pitch. Big first out.
Here is Headley. He's drawn a walk and scored. Has struck out and flied out. He is 0 for 6 off the Oriole left-hander. And he will take the pitch outside for a ball. Overall for Headley, 192 off lefties and 284 off right-handers. His lineup's had some problems with left-handers. 1-0 pitch, and he'll take the big cut and foul it back. Headley here in the series, 4 hits, 10 at bats. Part of the 3 walks surrendered by Mike Wright in the 5th inning. All 3 scored. Headley, Rodriguez, and Teixeira. Bases loaded walk and a 2 RBI double by Murphy. 1-1 delivery. That'll miss outside.
Just missed. Nice pitch with the changeup. Headley gearing up for the fastball. Pretty healthy rip at that first one. Mattis thinking he can get him out in front on the change, but it just sails a little off the outside corner.
2-1 delivery. Fooled him and gets the strike. He wanted 94, not 84, and couldn't pull the trigger.
Yeah, we're going to have to make the adjustment. A lot of hitters hit off the fastball until they get to the 2 strikes. Then they have to make an adjustment.
2-2 delivery came in with another heater at 90, and the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. We could have called this full count day if we'd known. Both sides, pitchers going 3-2 time after time. Delivery on the way, and Headley will swing at it, and he's gone. That's 4 strikeouts for Mattis. 2 in the inning.
Back-to-back punch-outs here from Brian Mattis. The high fastball. Headley was looking for a fastball the whole at bat. A pretty healthy rip, but this one riding up and out of the zone, just over the top of the bat head.
And that'll be it. With Rodriguez coming up, not wanting him to face the left-hander. Mattis has a new career high as a reliever with 4 strikeouts in this appearance. He did a good job back from suspension. Want to recognize here in Birdland a great weekend going on. Orioles at home. How about Hunfest being held in Hamden? It's yesterday and today. It's all about those wonderful working women of Baltimore. A term of endearment in this city in Baltimore is Hun. And so they came out yesterday and today with these beehive hairdos, everything leopard skin, lots of great food, a great fest up on 36th Street. And it has become a really popular annual event. It's called Beehive Bright Blue Eyeshadow Spandex Pants and Leotard Print. Hyundai in Hamden. That's H-O-N.
And Tyler Wilson now into the ball game. You saw his pitch arsenal as the fastball, slider, and change. Really impressive this year in spring training. Had a couple opportunities with the big club. Recalled once again.
2 down, nobody on. A-Rod.
Take a look at Tyler's numbers. 3 games, 1-1 record, 3.38 earned run average, 10 hits given up in his 8 innings of work.
Pitch on the way, and A-Rod will foul that one off. Rodriguez 0 for 2 and a walk. Run scored. '25-year-old right-hander for the Orioles getting an opportunity immediately on the call-up day. As we said, it was his day to start at AAA. 10 starts there, 3.4 record, 3.17 ERA. And A-Rod will go down swinging. Tyler Wilson comes on to get the strikeout. A 1-2-3 inning. It remains the Yankees 5, the Orioles 3. by PNC for the achiever in you. And by Ocean City, Maryland. Put your vacation days to good use in Ocean City, Maryland. Book now at OCOcean.com. Legends Park, a lot of fans out there. Come to the ballpark here, Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Make sure you make your way out. Great overhead shot on this Sunday afternoon, and a good ball game. Very much up for grabs. Orioles bat, bottom half of the 6th inning. Hardy will lead it off. Flaherty and Joseph. Hardy has singled and flied out. Orioles trying for a 7-game win streak. Would be the longest in Showalter's tenure with a ball club, if they can get it.
Well, you got to believe the Yankees aren't feeling very comfortable right now with the 2-run lead here in the bottom of the 6th. After all the damage that the Orioles offense has done in the first 2 games of the series. Talked about their success with runners in scoring position. But 20 runs, 31 hits, 5 homers in 2 games. Pretty impressive stuff from the Orioles offense.
1 ball, 1 strike count. J.J. Hardy. Shreve coming on to replace Warren. Gets a ground ball to second base. Stephen Drew. Oriole Park is your perfect setting for your next group outing. Gather up family, friends, co-workers, colleagues. Have a great fun-filled day or night at the ballpark. Discounted ticket prices for groups as small as 15. Party facilities to fit up to 1,000. Oriole Park at Camden Yards can make your group outing an experience you'll never forget. For details, go to Orioles.com/group, or you can call 888-848-BIRD. One down. Flaherty is flied out, struck out. And the pitch taken for a strike on the inside corner. 0-1 count on Ryan with the outfield straight away against him.
Well, I guess a good sign for Flaherty is the fact that the Yankees aren't doing the full shift on him, which shows he's starting to use left field a little bit more. Much of Flaherty's young career, teams have shifted the whole infield over to the right side of the field. One-dimensional, but Flaherty this year starting to spray the ball around a little bit more.
1-1 count on him. He'll take that one on the outside corner for a strike. Well, certainly one of the reasons Ryan Flaherty this season, 368 off left-handers coming into the ball game. And Flaherty's made them believers.
Yeah, absolutely, and a lot of it is that front side. Problems last couple years, just pulling the front side off the breaking balls, the off-speed pitches. Really have to think hard to the middle, and the work and time he's put in this year really helped him. I think Scott Coolball's helped him kind of calm him down a little bit. He put a lot of time and effort in. He's controlling that big body and understanding that he's plenty strong enough, doesn't have to use it as much as he had been in the past. Trust his hands.
He hit only 178 off lefties last year, so that's an enormous jump. Scott's got him in batting practice with that front foot down. He doesn't raise it up for part of his BP. He stays flat, keeps the feet down, forcing you to hit the ball to left and center. That pitch will be taken down low. And another full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Flaherty. As the Orioles looking to get that potential tying run to the plate. Just a 2-run differential here. 5-7-0 Yankees. 3-6-0 for the Orioles. Yankees have left 7. The Orioles have left 6. 3-2. 36,343 on this summer Sunday. 36,343. And thank goodness for most of the ball game there have been clouds.
Oh, yeah.
To block out that sun.
It has been smoking hot.
90 degrees when we started today. 3-2 pitch on the way. Another one foul back. Certainly want to thank everybody contributing to the Maryland Food Bank donations all weekend long in the form of non-perishable food items or money. One Main branches employees have been here at the ballpark all weekend helping, as have the wives of the Orioles, personalities from WJZ and from Masson. Ground ball fouled off. You can contribute, continue to do so at the local branches of the One Main, and you can always contribute to the food drive if you go to mdfoodbank.org/Orioles. Orioles proud to be a part of the annual drive each year here at the ballpark. Again, the 3-2 delivery on the way, and Flaherty will go down swinging.
Shreve able to get the big strikeout, but for lack of effort from Ryan Flaherty, really worked him. Saw everything he had to offer. The 3-2 fastball at the top of the zone is the pitch that gets Flaherty. A couple outs now for Chase and Shreve.
2 down here in the 6th. Caleb Joseph, RBI double, and he is flied out. Got his hit in the 4th inning. Reimold, a couple of RBIs on a base hit, accounting for the 3 runs for the Orioles. And Caleb with a big cut. Yankees have an RBI sac fly from Gardner. Teixeira's had an RBI double. And Murphy's picked up a 2 RBI double. And then the bases loaded walk to Jones. The 0-1 pitch. That'll miss inside. And they have gone to extra innings in Pittsburgh. How about that? And the score is 0-0. Philly and Pitt. 1-1 pitch. That'll be one I'll be looking for tomorrow. I wonder when the last time it was you had in one series 0-0 games in extra innings.
Yeah.
It's got to. That just doesn't happen. They got to be out of pitchers. I mean, can't be many healthy arms left.
You wouldn't think so.
For either of those teams, which the Orioles don't mind, with Philadelphia coming in here tomorrow night. Shreve with a 2-1 count. Throttle back on that one. 2-2.
It's pretty good secondary pitches coming out of the left arm of Chase and Shreve. A little funkiness. Tough to pick up the ball, especially those off-speed pitches.
He'd appeared in only 15 Major League games prior to this season with Atlanta. Oh, my. Hadley. Great play down at third base, and Caleb Joseph is denied an extra base hit. It is a 1-2-3 inning. We'll go to the 7th with the Yankees on top by 2.
Murphy has the bases loaded and 2 outs, looking for the clutch hit. He whistles one off the glove of Machado. Able to score Rodriguez and Teixeira. Rookie Barfi picking up the clutch hit, the game-changing hit gives the Yankees the 5-3 lead here as we enter the top of the 7th inning.
Great shot, Inner Harbor. What a beautiful day to be out on the water. That's a major sailing effort right there. Joe Girardi in his 8th season with the Yankees, trying to get out of the 3-game losing streak they're in. Buck Showalter looking for a 7th win in a row as we go to the 7th inning. Teixeira has drawn a walk and scored, doubled in a run, and been hit by a pitch. Active day offensively. Wilson on the mound for the Orioles. 25-year-old right-hander coming on to strike out A-Rod and end the 6th inning. Brian Mattis inning in 2/3. 1 hit, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Wright 5 runs, 6 hits over 4+. The 1-1 will be up and in. And a 2-ball, 1 strike count. And that one's going to be fouled back. He was looking to throw a strike, and he did. And the count goes to 2-2.
Well, nice change. You better have the ability to throw your secondary pitches for strikes anytime nowadays. And Wilson showing that he has that ability.
Tyler's 2-2 delivery, and that one will go into the shift. Flaherty will play it on a hop. Davis gets over to cover. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Into the game and his own world. 1 down. Here's Jones. He'll take the pitch up high. Garrett Jones. Base hit, walk, strikeout. Walk came with the bases loaded. So he's got the RBI. Tyler Wilson's delivery will be off the fists and back. Wilson, a Virginia native out of Lynchburg, where he was born, lives in Midlothian now. This is his 5th pro season. 10th round pick, 2011. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery on the way, will be outside. 2-1. Wilson, prior to this season, all minor league games, came up through the organization. Aberdeen, Delmarva, Frederick, Bowie, and then Norfolk last year, and Norfolk again this year. 2-1 pitch. Aimed to go after one that was down and in. Somehow fouled it back.
Well, that's a nasty pitch. Cutting across the plate. I don't know how he got a piece of that. Great movement there from Wilson.
2-2.
Wilson, right, something this organization very proud of. Pitchers they drafted and developed. And here finally in the big leagues, really climbing the ladder. They've experienced both the successes and failures that all players have to go through if they want to be able to make the adjustments at the major league level. And of course, with the 11 looming free agents this offseason, every young player that gets an opportunity here will prove it himself for next year as well.
Wilson was headed off to have the ball thrown around. Andy Fletcher was the only one who didn't agree, and the only one that mattered. 3 ball, 2 strike count. Ooh, what a surprise. 1 down, and the delivery will be put in the air to left field. Nolan Reimold. In our Major League Notebook, our other Sunday column today comes from Tyler Kepner of the New York Times. Good news, Tanya Carpenter was struck on that broken bat that ended up in the stands, discharged from the Boston hospital, gone to a rehab center, making a strong recovery according to the doctors. And Commissioner Rob Manfred saying Major League Baseball would reevaluate stadium safety issues with comment from the union. The Red Sox said they would fully participate in that process. And the process is one under discussion. It's about how far should those protective screens go at the lower level. Right now in most ballparks they are, as they are here, wrapped around the batting boxes, or on deck circles if you will, from one to the other. That ball's going to go down into the corner, hit hard by Drew. Chasing it down, Snyder. Throw will come into second base. Not in time. So Drew's got his second hit, 2 for 4, a 2-out double here in the 7th inning.
He'll take that, try to get that average a couple little closer to the Mendoza line. Still below, a little change up right here from Wilson. And he gets on it, covering it down that right field line. Hits hard off the right field wall. We've seen this outfield come up with some big assists. A little too much air under that one from Travis, and Drew able to get in there safely.
That is hit number 8 for the Yankees. They are 2 for 10 in these situations today. Gregorius, a base hit, a run scored, 1 for 3, 2 down. And he'll take the pitch inside for a ball. Looking for that big 2-out RBI. And it would be a big one as we are in the 7th inning. The Yankees up by 2. One-0 pitch on the way. A nice stop made. Joseph gloving that one. Prevents that runner from moving up.
Yeah, huge play. I think this time of the game, it has been a long game for these guys, especially the catchers all in their gear. They're going to keep working and paying attention to the detail. A lot of times a lack of concentration in these sweltering hot summer days can lead to a lot of careless mistakes. Nice play there from Caleb.
2-0, got that one in. It'll go to second base. Multi-hopper. Flaherty makes the play. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base Sunday afternoon at the Yard. 7th inning stretch time.
Hi, I'd just like to thank all of the military personnel for your sacrifice and what you do for our country each and every day, making sure that we can enjoy what we do over here. Thank you for your service. You are the true heroes.
All weekend for the Orioles Reach effort to help out the Maryland Food Bank. One Main providing a lot of volunteers, and Mike and I both had the opportunity to go out and about the generosity of the people though out there when you're asking for help for the food bank.
Yeah, I love it. I love interacting with the fans, and it's especially fun when the Yankees fans come into town. There was a table of about 6 fans, and there was one Orioles jersey, and I went over to make sure the guy with the Orioles jersey was okay. Well, I had Reggie Jackson on the back, and he goes, he was a Yankee too. So we got into it a little bit, talked about baseball, but everybody had gracious hearts, and we're happy to donate. And if they had the non-perishable items, they had big smiles on their face when they helped out the Maryland Food Bank.
Yeah, and we, for all of those who gave, thank you so much. You can continue to do so, as we said, at mdfoodbank.org/Orioles. And you can also contribute through June 25 at the One Main branches. And for all those who volunteered to work, I mean, there were all kinds of volunteers on hand from the bank, from the ballpark with the Orioles and Massillon. The wives were working. Some of the players went out and collected, and that was a real effort that makes us successful.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, when everybody's involved, everybody feels good about it. I mean, it's not like you're putting anybody out of their way. There are smiles on everyone's face. They come to the ballpark to see a great baseball game and also help the Maryland Food Bank. I think it's all a great cause. And
should we show them one more time? Turn around.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Here we go. Here we go. That's why we're wearing these shirts for the day. We feed Baltimore. That's nice. Thanks, everybody, for a great weekend worth. And a good ball game underway here to conclude this three-game set. Chris Young has come into the ball game as a defensive replacement. The Bird is not a defensive replacement yet. And the Orioles will bat here in the bottom half of the seventh inning, down by just 2 runs. 24-year-old left-hander Jason Shreve still out on the mound for the Yankees. He's retired all 4 batters that he's faced, and he gets the top of the order here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Manny Machado, a base hit, popped out a couple of times. 8-game hit streak for him. Machado will try and kick it off here, get that potential tying run, or better, to the plate. That one is bounced. And a 2-0 count on Machado. Manny will take that. In the bullpen, Justin Wilson for the Yankees.
We'll see if Manny can keep his patience here. I mean, 2-0, yeah, great hitters count, but here you are down by a couple runs. Leadoff hitter. You got the boppers coming up behind you. Not that Manny's not a bopper himself, but you need runners on base.
And he is patient and takes the pitch outside. So Machado gets ahead. 296 off lefties on the year for him. He's ahead on the count here, 3-0. Orioles trying to battle back to get a win late in the ball game and continue their hopes of their second consecutive sweep. .3-0 delivery. Machado takes, and he's on 4 straight. And that's what the Orioles were looking for. Well, the latest voting numbers in for the 15 All-Star games. Several lows in the running for starting spots. Adam Jones, Manny Machado, rest of the favorite Orioles. You can vote at Orioles.com/voteorange. And you could earn ticket discounts, chance to win an autographed All-Star game jersey. Vote up to 35 times with each valid email address. That's Orioles.com/voteorange. So the left-handers coming out of there. Paredes due up. Leadoff man on in the 7th for the Orioles. will take the mound against Aaron Harang in Game 1 of the home-and-home series against the Phillies. Our coverage on Massam begins at 6:30. O's Extra, presented by Southwest. Game coverage at 7. All the access you need right here on Massam.
Take a look at the Phillies preview. 22-41 record this season. They've lost 5 in a row. Some extra inning ball games that we've been talking about here recently. 7-25 on the road, and they've lost 15 of 18. Ryan Howard, the offense, 11 home runs, 28 RBIs for the Phillies. And Justin Wilson out of the Yankees bullpen. And fastball 93% of the time. It's a good one, 92-97 with that. As the curve and change. Opponents hitting 194 overall.
And the Orioles will send Delmon Young to the plate as a pinch hitter. Runner at first base, Machado in a walk. Nobody out. Young for Paredes. And he goes after it for a strike. Young has been a premier pinch hitter, batting .320 this season in his role as a pinch hitter. Don't get a lot of chances in the American League in that department. And he's the one who's been doing it for the Orioles. Wilson, the left-hander, delivers and blows another heater by him at 94. 0-2.
Great arm. Loves his fastball. Not afraid to challenge hitters. And you see him going right after Delmon Young. Inherited runner stranded. Pretty good. 19-24 at 79%.
Game over from the Pittsburgh Pirates for Francisco Cervelli, their catcher. And by the way, Philly and Pitt are still playing in extra innings. They're in the 11th. Young with the 0-2 count. Machado off first base. Left-handers delivering. He got him on 3 straight heaters. That's what they brought him in for.
Kind of a free, easy delivery, and that ball just exploding out of the hand. On the outer third. 93, 94 miles an hour. Every fastball to Delmon Young.
Last outing came against the Nationals on Wednesday, and he worked a solid inning, giving up nothing. Adam Jones, a base hit, 1 for 3, 5-game hit streak for Adam. He's grounded out and struck out since the single that he picked up in the first inning. Is Max Scherzer still throwing a perfect game? No. He had a perfect game through 6 for the Nationals against Milwaukee. Not anymore. Ground ball down to third. Headley's looking to second base. There's one. Relay none. Good idea. Did not have a chance. Ball not hit hard enough. Had Manny Machado rolling in on him anyway at second base, and Drew held on to it.
Pretty nice play right there. Right, Headley at third. A pretty good player. All-star third baseman in the National League. Tough angle. See Manny going in hard. And Drew just taking it in the legs.
So now runner at first. Jones, 2 outs, 7th inning. Davis, 2 walks and a strikeout in the ball game. Carlos Gomez broke up that perfect game by Scherzer in the 7th for the Brewers. Davis up. Big numbers against left-handers. 304. 3 of his 13 home runs off southpaws. He represents the potential tying run in this ball game. Chris, too, with a hit streak of 4 that he has not extended in the ball game today. One 0 count against the shift. Davis takes down low. I want to thank Greg at Stats. We were telling you about when's the last time 2 games in 1 series have gone into extra innings with no score. The answer: June 22 through the 24th of 2012. White Sox and Brewers. Both those games, they had 2 of the games in that series after 9-0-0. Thank you. And a big swing and a miss. 2-1.
Big time matchup right here. You know Wilson's going to challenge Davis with the fastball. Very proud of the heater. And there it is, 2-0 count. Hit it if you can. Davis swinging through with the big cut.
2-1 count. The outfield very deep. And that pitch will be taken down low. So Chris gets ahead on the count, 3-1. Reimold waiting on deck. Orioles here in the 7th, trying to get the ball game tied up or better. Yankees got a run in the first. The Orioles got 2. Yankees tied it in the second. Orioles went ahead in the fourth. The Yankees went ahead with 3 runs in the fifth. That ball into the shift. Right at him. Drew right there. And that's why it's used. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left, 7 complete here at Camden Yards. Pittsburgh, he's the first 10-game winner in the majors this season. Only 24 years old. Got it done yesterday. Logan Morrison with Seattle. He'd gone 106 at-bats without hitting a home run. He got his first one last night, and in his next at-bat, he got his second. And Giancarlo Stanton just keeps hitting home runs with Miami. Last night, he had a home run and 4 RBIs. The last 14 games, he's had 10 home runs and 17 RBIs. For Giancarlo Stanton.
Is there another league for that guy?
Wow.
Man, oh man, that's impressive.
Adam Jones talks about him all the time. Adam loves to watch him hit. He's just so powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't just hit home runs. He's a Dave Kingman kind of home run hitter. You watch him for a long time. Few clouds moving in. Thunderstorms will be around this afternoon. We are in the 8th inning of this ball game. We're going to get through without any rain delays, so you know. And that's going to be a base hit into left field. So Murphy's having himself quite the day. That's a 3-hit ball game, 2 RBIs in the 5th inning with a double, 2 singles, including this one, a leadoff in the 8th inning.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be just known as a weekend catcher. He wants more playing time. 3 knocks in this ball game. Big hits, too.
So leadoff man on for the Yankees. 4 out of the 8 innings. Yankees have had the leadoff man on base. Here's Williams 0 for 3 in the ball game, looking to bunt. Pops it up, diving. Davis. That'll be it. Good play by Chris. And back to the bag went Murphy.
Now, Davis has made some beautiful defensive plays in this ball game, but he's really made himself one of the better first basemen in the game. It was a slow start for him defensively this year. He's got on it. Bobby Dickerson loving this athleticism at first. Look at that diving effort from the big man. Not only can he hit balls a country mile, but he can lay out and make beautiful plays with the glove. Earlier in the ball game, gunned down a potential run at home on a little slow roller.
So Williams does not get the job done. The rookie did not advance the runner. So Murphy back at first base. Career high 3-hit ball game for him. Top of the order, Gardner. Singled, RBI sack, ground out strikeout. Saw a note, Tracy Ringlesby of the MLB, formerly Rocky Mountain News, had a note on weather around Major League Baseball and its impact. I'd never seen a note quite like that before, as far as who suffered the most when it comes to the bad weather. 1-0 count. The Rockies, as you might expect, have had the most 11 weather delays, totaling 18 hours and 12 minutes. Yikes! Cincinnati's had 11 hours and 49 minutes. The A's, Oakland, and Tampa Bay have not had any delays. Just the Rays inside. The Cubs last year led the majors, 25 hours and 56 minutes of rain delays. It'll go to Flaherty, second one. That's all there'll be. Hardy gets out of the way. Murphy retired. Fielder's choice, Gardner.
Nice little play right there. Tricky hop from Ryan Flaherty, and as soon as that ball hits his glove, able to get that lead out at second base.
Ryan making sure on the lead runner. Gardner with good speed, of course, down the line in a hurry at first. Here is Headley. Walk in the fifth inning scored. He struck out twice and flied out. 0 for 3, 4 for 11 in the series. Tyler Wilson on for the Orioles. Added to the roster today. Just in time. Pitch outside. Put on the roster because they wanted to have somebody for long relief in this game. And Wilson, as we said, scratched as a starter for Norfolk today.
And the Orioles living on the edge a little bit with Mattis on that 8-game suspension, short in the bullpen, and the bullpen stepped up and has done a marvelous job.
0-1 pitch on the way, ground ball, middle base hit. Jones charging it to hold that runner at second base, and he does. No small matter. So Gardner stays at second. Headley's got a base hit. Second hit of the inning. 2-1, 2 down.
The details of the game, things that show up that we don't kind of remember at the end. Ryan Flaherty making that play and getting the lead out at second base there for the second out. If he just takes a routine out knowing he's not going to get a double play and takes the out at first base, that run scores. So smart play right there. All infielders to try to keep that in mind. Getting that lead out. The runner's out of scoring position.
And here is Rodriguez. A-Rod, a walk and a run scored. Otherwise 0 for 3. 3 for 12 in the series. And a really bad swing on a really good pitch.
Well, Tyler Wilson got to tape that one. I'm going to show his kids one day. After all the numbers are said and done, and say, look what I made Alex Rodriguez do one time.
2 for 11 in these situations today. Just amazing. 0-1 count. Rodriguez swings through another one at 84. 0-2.
Nice tight slider right there. Good spin. Back-to-back sliders. Well located. Why not push it a little bit more outside? First one right on the outside corner. This one working itself just off the edge.
0-2, 2 down, 2-1. In the dirt. One out there. Good stop made by Caleb. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count, Rodriguez. Rodriguez, 244 in these situations on the season for the Yankees. Yet another big at bat. We've repeatedly said that today because there have been so many with runners on base for the Yankees in all but 2 innings. 1-2 delivery and inside to him. Orioles today have had runners on in 4 of the 7 innings. Outfield shaded to right. Pretty good gap in left center. 2-ball, 2-strike count. A-Rod up the middle. That's where Flaherty was playing and will go to the bag and get the force out. So no runs on a couple of hits, no errors, 2 more left on base. Orioles go to the bottom half of the 8th inning, needing a couple to get it tied. 5-3 Yankees.
Nolan Reimold staying red hot. It's a 4-game hit streak. Couple home runs on this homestand, but here a single driving in 2 in the first inning. The drive of the game is brought to you by Lexus of Towson, the area's #1 volume Lexus dealer, 5 years running. See why at lexusoftowson.com.
Josh Harrison has picked up the base hit off Jonathan Papelbon, and Pittsburgh has swept Philadelphia in their 3-game set. So the Phillies, the Orioles' next opponent, coming here tomorrow night. They've lost 6 in a row. Nolan Reimold will take it for a strike. Pirates went into that series having scored only 6 runs. That's what they came out of it with, and Philly picked up only 3. So they are done, and the Phillies will be headed to Baltimore. A swing and a miss by Reimold. Reimold has had a walk, scored on it in the 4th inning, 2 RBI base hit in the 1st, and struck out in the 5th inning. Orioles plenty close with only a 2-run differential, and that's going to be inside. Wilson on the mound. Justin Wilson for the Yankees.
Good arm. Great fastball. Nice little angle he makes across that glove side. He's driving it down and in.
Fouled off, fought off. Keep the at-bat alive. Betances getting ready in the bullpen. Taking over as closer with Miller out. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Shreve worked an inning and a third, had a strikeout and a walk. The starter Warren, 3 runs, 6 hits, 4 2/3. So Shreve right now is the pitcher of record. Warren was 1 out shy of qualifying to be a winner. For the Orioles, Mike Wright remains the pitcher of record, 5 runs, 6 hits, over 4+. Madison inning and 2/3, no runs, 1 hit, 4 strikeouts. And Wilson's been on since. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Reimold off the fist, pops it up. Murphy, nope, not enough room. The other side of the screen.
Wilson just continues to bury that fastball in. Reimold, we've seen a pretty good cutter from the lefty as well. So the firm fastball got it up there to 96 this afternoon, but he's got a firm cutter as well.
Reimold came in 3 for 8 off left-handers. 1-2 delivery and a swing and a miss. That's a great pitch. So he'll pick up the strikeout. Reimold the first out here in the 8th.
A little curveball after hard. Look at it filling it up, down and in. A little change of pace. How about 84 after a 96-mile-an-hour fastball? Get you out in front a little bit and cheating on that inside corner. Good pitch. Nice call by the rookie Murphy.
That'll bring Snyder to the plate. Travis getting the start in right field has had an 0 for 3 in the ball game. And we'll take the first pitch on the inside corner for a strike. Orioles being held off the board since the 4th inning. They've stranded 3 runners since then. 0-1 delivery. A wave. Snyder hit .381 off left-handers last year. This year, so far, .286. And got fooled on the last one. 0-2 count.
Yeah, good breaking ball right there. Kind of got to get it geared up to hit the good fastball.
Tried to get him to chase. Thought he had a strikeout there. And the count goes to 1-2. Houston walloping Seattle 12-0. A hapless Seattle team right now. 1-2 pitch on the way and a ground ball rolled over on that one. Drew's got it. Over to Teixeira, and they're 2 down. Red Sox are getting hammered today, as we told you, by Toronto. Seattle's struggling and losing. They're 6.5 games out. We are getting to that point of the year where you wonder who's the next manager to go. somebody's going to pay a price for some of these teams that had high expectations.
Yeah, and some of the teams like the Orioles, maybe some of the other teams that are kind of hovering around that 500 spot, might be looking to some of the teams that aren't having the winning records. Might want to dump some players early on. And the Phillies have talked about a lot of trades there. Of course, the Brewers now one of those teams.
Papelbon has been right at the top of the list in the coverage in Philadelphia for players to be traded. He's talked about it, about wanting to be traded.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them over there. Cole Hamels, Papelbon, Howard. Yeah.
0-2 count, 2 down. J.J. Hardy will take it, and he's gone. So Wilson, that's 3 strikeouts, a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the 9th here at Camden Yards with the Yankees up by 2.
Brought to you by Miller Lite. Well, Brian Mattis on in relief. This is his first appearance since serving that 8-game suspension for the rosin on the forearm. Well, came in and slammed the door. Drew goes down on the good breaking ball. Gregorius painted fastball in the outside corner, and then a dotted fastball down and in to get Gardner. Although Headley going down with a high fastball. Brian Mattis is back, and he keeps this game at 2 runs. Tyler Wilson on in relief. He's still pitching. Orioles looking for the bloop and the blast.
2 1/3 innings worked by Wilson. He has given up 3 hits. Ball put up in the air, down the line, in left field, off to Scherer's bat. Reimold, foul territory, long way to go, and holds onto it. 1 down here in the 9th inning. Orioles baseball on Masson, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. So 1 away. Got Jones, and then Drew will be due up here in the 9th inning. The Orioles will have Flaherty, Joseph, and Manny Machado due up in the bottom of the 9th. 1 away. Jones an RBI and a bases loaded walk that came in the 5th inning. He's also singled, 1 for 3. Officially, Chris Young is in his spot now, and Young will take it up high. Young in and out of the lineup in right field, depending on lefty-righty combinations. 1-0 pitch on the way, inside corner strike.
The Orioles keep getting Wilson and Mike Wright up here. Ron Johnson and Mike Griffin, AAA manager and pitching coach. A nice job working their team in the roster. Continue to play pretty good baseball. Norfolk Tides, a AAA team for the Orioles.
1 ball, 2 strike count on Young. And he'll line it to center. Jones going back. Adams there. Tyler Wilson gets the first 2 out here in the 9th inning. 2 down with the bases empty. Drew coming up's had a good day. A double and a single, 2 for 4 in the ball game. Drew came in with the lowest batting average on the road in the American League. 188 at home, 158 on the road. He's up that a little bit. 2 down, nobody on, and into the shift it goes. Second base, Flaherty's there. 1, 2, 3 inning. We go to the bottom half of the 9th. Can the Orioles find 2 to keep it going or 3 to win it?
Saw battle with the Yankees. The Orioles are trying to keep that broom out on the top step. They need 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th to make it happen.
And right now the difference in the game, 4 consecutive walks and a double that got the Yankees the lead. Let's see how it turns out. Let's head back upstairs to Gary and Mike.
And for the Orioles to get back into this, they're going to have to do it against the setup man who's moved into the closer's role. And nobody's surprised at that, and that's Dylan Betances.
Yeah, big arm, has a great fastball, 94 to 99 with the fastball, but also a good curveball as well. You see he uses the curveball much more than the heater. Will it change now that he's the closer for the Yankees? I don't know. Look at this earned run average, .28. Has 4 wins out of the pen, 54 strikeouts in 32 and a third innings of work. Only the 14 walks. Does have a couple saves already on the year, but opponents hitting 103. Lefties at 70, and the righties only 125. Even distribution, ground ball, fly ball, outs, but he's got the good stuff. There are question marks about him potentially starting the year as the closer, but I feel like he's one of the better setup men in the game. They got Andrew Miller, who's now on the disabled list, so Betances back into the closer role.
This will be game number 6 against the Orioles. He's got a victory. He's worked 6 innings, no runs, 3 hits, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. And of course, that is what Dylan Betances is, a strikeout pitcher. Flaherty will lead it off against him. 1 for 4 off Betances. 8, 9, and 1 up for the Orioles here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. 0-1 count. Ryan Flaherty 0 for 3 in the ball game. That is there as well. Betances, the strikeout numbers just continue to defy the imagination. He struck out 19 of the last 33 batters that he's faced. Leads the major leagues, 54 strikeouts. He started the year not allowing an earned run in 26 games. 0-2 delivery, and that'll be up high.
Yeah, so tough. I mean, starting to go to that breaking ball more, but the power fastball that you certainly have to respect. Rushed it up there 99 miles an hour at times, but he can bury the curveball. It's a lot of swing and misses down in the dirt.
Good eye by Flaherty. Count goes to 2-2. Great job by Tyler Wilson. 3 1/3 innings so far with 3 hits, 1 strikeout, holding the ball game at bay at a 2-run differential. 2-2 pitch on the way. Flaherty, little ground ball off the fist. It's going to be a tough play. Drew's got a running throw. Oh, what a pick. a difference maker, as Teixeira made the pick at first base, and somehow Drew got to it, made a throw to get the out.
Yeah, really nice play right there by Drew. And sometimes there's a little confusion with the shifts. Take that Gregorius. He's coming over here pretty aggressive. He's got a better angle, but Drew cuts in front. Makes the very athletic play. Look at the pick on the end from Teixeira. That's textbook right there. Keeping inside of that left foot. Out in front. Down low. Big league first baseman right there.
Big out. So Teixeira, a good defensive play here. Denies the Orioles that leadoff man. Here's David Lowe. Lowe will pinch it for Caleb Joseph. Get the left-handed bat in. And the pitch taken down low for a ball. Manny Machado waiting on deck. Orioles trying to extend this ball game here in the 9th inning. Yankees have left 10. The Orioles have left 7 on in the game. Low swing and a miss on one up. David's gone 1 for 2 as a pinch hitter, a home run.
Yeah, big pinch hit home run in yesterday's ball game. It was a breaking ball. Fed into him on the inner third. Hit it out to right field.
Rally caps are on. That'll be another one to second. Drew will backhand it and get him. So the Orioles down to just one more out to work with. Six-game winning streak in danger of being lost, while the Yankees have a chance to end their 3-game losing streak. And the chance for the Orioles to try and pick up those back-to-back sweeps against the Red Sox and Yankees. Down to a final out to keep it alive. Wieters waiting on deck. Manny Machado's had a base hit. 1 for 3 and a walk. That one in the dirt. Scatters the dust. And a 1-0 count.
You really just have to kind of guess right with Betances. Very sharp breaking ball. The power fastball. I hope you guess right. Catch one of them.
1-0 count. 1 for 4 off Betances. That one all the way to the backstop. Toronto's won their ball game today against the Red Sox, so they've now won 11 in a row. Longest win streak in the majors by far. Tampa Bay's won their game 3 in a row. Two-0 count. Hello. Just practicing.
Wow, what the heck was that?
I don't know, but it's a 3-0 count.
Right? And all the Orioles need is one on. Yep. The meat of this order's coming up. So Wieters on deck.
That'll be there for a strike. 3 ball, 1 strike count with 2 down. The way Betances is throwing in a couple of those pitches. See if he can throw 2 strikes in a row here. 3-1 delivery on the way. He can't. And the Orioles will get the walk and create a moment. Betances surrendering the free pass on an unusual array of pitches in that at bat. And Matt Wieters will come to the plate in the DH spot. The rally cap's working. Matt, of course, limited at bats so far, coming back. 7th game he's appeared in, only 23 at bats. But he's had 3 doubles, triple, home run. Runner goes. Pitch will be taken. It'll be an indifference play. Manny Machado goes down. The Yankees weren't going to challenge that. At least it takes away one place to get a force out. Wieters' first pinch hit job this year. Matt takes the off-speed breaking ball in there for a strike. As a pinch hitter in his career for the Orioles, 4 for 23. His is the run that matters, of course, at the plate with the Orioles down by 2 in the 9th. Wieters will take it. It's there. 1-2.
Well, that's tough. Slow breaking ball. 83 miles an hour, then 97 on the outside corner.
One-two delivery, and that's the ball game. So Betances comes on, gets the save. Shreve will get the win. Mike Wright will take the loss and go 2-2.